You are now tuned in to
Peace
King
Listen.
Podcast.
Welcome,
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name of Hungry HD, and to my far left, I have the incomparable.
It's Trey Maurice.
And you know we come together to form the Peace King Podcast. So we talk about health, wealth, relationships,
Big three.
and whatever else we feel like.
Yes, sir.
On that note, I gotta say it's gonna be a stretch, but you know,
we in there.
Peace King,
Yeah, come on, man. We in the, come on, man.
Listen.
We in the game.
Listen,
Yeah,
this is
yes.
episode 15.
Hey, man, 15, yo.
And
King say.
as y'all can see, like every week it just keep getting different. Just new
Hey,
things keep popping off.
Hey, man, big things
It
popping
ain't
up,
just the
stop.
blue chair. It's like the bluish, grayish couch.
We got that couch over here, yeah.
Whole couch.
Because we got not one but two guests.
Two lovely ladies in the house. Hey, man, we got, you already know, like, yo, we got Stizzo Speaks in the building, and we got Lisa Marie in the building. Welcome to Stizzo Speaks, Lisa Marie, Stizzo Speaks. You see the IGs, y'all might as well follow right now, because I know you're already following your boys at Trey_Maurice and at the Hungry HD.
Facts.
Hey, man, we in here tonight, man. Let's start with the ladies, since the ladies are here. How was y'all week? How was your week, Lisa?
Let's talk about it.
It was good. I had a great week.
All right.
You know, flew in today.
Hey, man, they catching flights over here. You know,
Hey,
Peace
listen.
King Pod, we moving up in the game.
We elevating.
They catching flights outside.
We
Come on,
elevating.
man, we out here.
It's an
You know what I
honor.
mean? That's what it
It is
is.
an honor to be here.
Word, hey, it is our absolute pleasure. What about you, that's Stiz?
Week was great. I feel like what day of the week is it? I don't even know. But we
Facts.
just came off of an amazing trip in Vegas. Shout out to the Vibe
Come on,
Tribe.
Vibe Tribe in the building. Come on,
So-
Vibe Tribe in the building.
You know.
2023 weekend.
I'm still on the high from that. So I went from driving to Vegas, coming home, repacking the bag, flying over here to Peace King Podcast, and I'm
It's
so
lit.
happy to be here. Thank you guys for having
Yes,
us. Like this is
absolutely.
amazing.
Appreciate
It's
you.
the Nice Kicks reunion right
There we
now.
go. Oh,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
we gonna
yeah,
get it. That nice kiss. We gotta figure that out now. Hold on, we gonna talk about that though. So how was your week, Midnight?
My week was cool, man. You know what I'm saying? A little up and down. You know what I mean? A little stressful. But, you know, last week with my son before he go back to school, go back to New York. So enjoying these last few days with him. Other than that, though, it's been pretty good. This is like totally unscripted, but I'm gonna ask y'all if y'all mind a quick Vibe Tribe weekend recap. Can we?
Man.
I'd love
Hey,
to
man.
hear that because I was supposed to go and then I was not able to go.
Hey man, it's
So
like that.
I saw that it looked like it was definitely a vibe.
If you don't know what they talking about, just go ahead on over there.
I heard what happens in Vegas
Maurice
stays
on
in
Insta.
Vegas.
I heard
I
that
mean,
too.
I did hear that as well. Let me
Okay,
just,
you
I'm
know
gonna just
what?
give y'all,
Yeah,
I'll give y'all the wave top, okay?
Okay.
Superficial level info here.
Okay.
It was a blast. Hey man, if you missed out, I ain't even gonna cap. You missed out. It was a great time from start to finish. The meet and greet, the all white pool party. Some random stranger thought I was featured. I don't know what that's about.
Definitely did.
Was asking the ladies if they could take a selfie with me. I'm like,
I can't.
what's going on?
Well,
You know what
he
I'm
came
saying?
over like, excuse me, sir, can I just shake your hand?
I know that's right.
I was like, what's happening right now?
I know
I was
that's
like, buy me a drink first, man.
Okay. Period. I know that's right.
I just
Seriously.
messing. Nah, I was like, yo, it was cool. I think it was because there was so much positivity, so much love, and it was my B-Day weekend as well. So I was being shown love. So with that, others were like, yo, who are all the? It was an abundance of ladies, majority ladies, fellas. I need y'all to come on, get on board. You know what I mean? Get your travel game up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, yo, it was an absolute blast, man. I'm appreciative. You know what I mean? I love the Vibe Tribe. You already know what time it is. Appreciate you for asking. So that's why my week went. That was my week. The main part of the week. The priorities are always on point. Thank God. You know what I mean? For right now. And like, yo, that Vibe Tribe weekend coming off of that. Like Stizzo Speaks just spoke of. See what I did there?
And let's not forget, today
That was hard.
you woke up black.
I woke up black today,
Talk
ladies
about
and
it.
gentlemen.
Talk
You
about
can't
it.
be mad about
Talk
that.
about it.
You know what I mean? Hey, man, you know what? another unscripted one. Speaking of the week and waking up black, shout out to the black folks in the riverfront in Montgomery, Alabama, who didn't just stand by and see one of ours getting jumped. Okay,
that's a fact.
He happened to be getting jumped by a bunch of white males. You know what I mean? I think the history in here in the United States started to, our ancestors were speaking to them.
Facts.
It was like, go get him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When bro threw that hat in the air, it was like a bat signal to all of the peeps. It's about to go down. No young jock. They went hammer. You feel what I'm saying? And like, yo, so shout out to all of them, the men and the women. There were women wanting to get involved. Our sisters said, hold on. Let me, I mean, hair was already in the ponytail. They was ready. You know what I'm saying? Earrings were already off before they went into that area. Hey, come on, man. Shout out to
security guard hit him with the Bobby Shmurda. You know what I mean? Tossed the joint. It was lit. You know what I mean? Only thing I will say, and I hate to do this, I hate to be this guy. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard not to. We keep it real. We got to keep him accountable.
Yeah.
OG, you know what I'm saying? When you smash the chick in the head with the chair, I was like, all right.
He was wrong for that.
Yeah, that's real it in a little.
He was wrong for that.
But you know, it's probably was adrenaline, you know what I'm saying? He just was going wild, like he just lost control, but that was a little crazy. When you hit the dude with the chair, I ain't care. Like, I wasn't saying nothing, but when you hit the lady with the chair, I was like, all right.
He was wrong. That was a little, you're bugging, little boy. You don't get the crown this week. You know what I'm saying? You try to give her a crown. I don't know what's up with that. But
and they got to him expeditiously.
That's
Shout out to T.I. They were like, we locking you up right now. Okay. He's confused.
Yes.
What I will say, for me, what I learned from that moment, and what we all know after COVID, well, during COVID and then after COVID, is the internet is undefeated.
Oh my God.
Because now the chairs are everywhere. Like the memes went wild in like 2.3 seconds.
Literally.
So, you know, if you're not on your content game, get on your content game because that's where it's at right now.
I saw GIFs. I saw like little in comment sections, the stuff. Like they got GIFs of people. I mean, they got the Doctor Strange portals or whatever.
Oh yeah,
the dudes coming through there. I'm like, this is hilarious. People are fast. They mad talented.
Facts.
But like, yo, we in the building. Y'all already know what it is. Appreciate the audible there. You know what I mean? All right. So here's the thing. I heard y'all mention Nice Kicks. Let's talk about that. What is that? What does that mean? What was that? What was Nice Kicks? That was a podcast.
So, yeah, it was a podcast that we had started back when COVID hit because there was really nothing going on. And it kind of happened organically. We were in, where were we at? The Courtyard Marriott.
Yeah. So to run it back, we were working for the same company when COVID hit. Okay. Lisa and I were both managers. And we were like, we're best friends. We've been best friends for over 15 years. So that's 20. Another part of it. 20, right. I mean, once the time escapes.
They're like a married couple. They don't know, she don't know to remember the
right.
anniversary date.
I don't remember.
I'm clearly the wife in this situation.
Yeah. But that's when you know you got a good friendship because you don't even have to count the time. It doesn't matter. It just goes.
Absolutely.
But we were working for the same company. COVID hit. And we were like, okay, what are we going to do today? And we were like, let's just go to Smash Burger, go to a hotel, just chill, have a couple of drinks because we always hang out with each other anyway.
Yeah.
And let's go on live because Tory Lanez, shout out to Tory Lanez.
Quarantine.
Quarantine radio. We had quarantine radio lit. So we were like, let's go on live and just chit chat.
Tory.
Yeah, people weren't really doing lives like that. It was Tory and maybe a few others, but that was it. So we got on live, and Lisa and I have a really great dynamic. We're very similar. We flow. She makes me feel like I'm a comedian. It all works.
That's what I'm talking
so we
about.
got on live. We're just talking, and someone asked the question about how do you kick game, and I'm more so. I shoot my shot. If y'all know Stizzo, you see me on lives, you know I always say I shoot my shot. But when I told these folks how I would shoot my shot, they came at me heavy because I was like, you know, I would just come up to a gentleman and say, yo, nice kicks. And they were like, what? Like, what kind of game is that?
I didn't
like,
think that was any game.
What part of the
what
game
part
is
of the game is that?
It's a nice car.
Yeah,
compliments do work though.
Nah, yeah,
that's a good way to open the door.
Yeah,
they weren't feeling it back then. So
No.
After that particular live, someone hit us up in a DM and was like, you all are funny. You got some energy. You got great topics. You all should really think about doing this every week. And so it was birthed from there. And the thought of nice kicks was about the joke behind my whole kicking game.
So it's not about y'all like shoes.
Not
No,
at
'cause
all.
I'm not a sneaker person at all. I
Okay.
don't even know anything about Jordan.
Okay.
I don't know 1s, 2s, 3s. I don't know any of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Get
so,
her out of here.
Somebody come get her.
Listen, I had my first pair of sneakers
I
when I
don't
was
know
in
what the
high
ones
school.
are, man.
So like, I don't know any of that. So for me, I'm like, no, it's definitely not about that.
Yeah.
But we were like nice kicks. We kicking it. It's a nice conversation. So it
Exactly.
just kind of.
I like to play on words.
Yeah, it's a great play on words.
Yeah,
That's
and
lit.
then I eventually moved to the West Coast. Lisa was in
She
Boston.
left. No, she left
Okay.
me.
She was on the East Coast. So we did the lives. We ran it up for a few weeks in the same space. We would rent out a hotel every Thursday faithfully.
Oh, wow.
Run it up, have drinks,
They got that bread, yeah.
and just go live. And then when I moved, it was IG on the 2 screens, and it just didn't have the same feel.
Yeah, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Hey man, it's understandable. You know what I mean? The podcast game, I love the podcast game. Clearly we started one up. I guess this is just some game out there for y'all that may be thinking about starting a podcast. I'm like, yo, speaking of nice kids, I say just do it. You know what I mean? Like shout out to Nike in the building. Just do it. And then when you have another episode, just do it and then repeat. And repeat, because the key is consistency.
Yes.
That'd be lit if like the word consistency came up like on the screen when I said that.
Yeah,
that would be lit. That would be lit.
I
mean, if she don't, I mean, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Just envision it in your head. You feel what I'm saying?
I think we should start
Consistency
though,
is key.
because we talk about that, and then I never follow. We gotta follow up. We gonna do it. We gotta start bringing the word of the day around.
Yeah. Go ahead. You got something on it?
Oh no, I was just getting ready to say yeah. I mean, I definitely totally agree. I think with anything, I mean, you can transfer over anything, not just podcasts. Whatever dream or vision you have, I think you should just get out there and get to it. I mean, the reality is, the beginning is always going to be slower and rougher. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as long as you staying consistent and keep doing it, and it's something that you really truly love to do, then at some point, everything is going to start making sense, and you're going to see everything going to come to fruition. You know, you see the
100%.
fruits of your labor. So,
Come on now.
yeah. And a big part of it too is doing what you naturally love.
100%.
Right.
And what comes organically and having flow. And that's what I really appreciate so much about the Peace King podcast is every episode that I watch, 1 through 14, it was the synergy, the energy is just organic.
Come on now.
You're being yourselves,
Yep.
you're living your passion.
Come on now.
And that reads on camera and it reads to the audience. And that's what it's about. Because sometimes there's people out here trying to do what the next person is doing. It's not really meant for them. And you can't stay consistent in something that's not meant for you.
That's right.
It's
Talk
eventually
about
going
it.
to fade. So
on now.
shout out to you all for being consistent, but
Yes.
being yourselves, because you're blessing the world by just showing up as the Hungry HG and the incomparable Cho Maurice every
on
single
now.
week. And that
Hey, man.
matters.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Appreciate, man. Shout out to the motivation right there. As a matter of fact, comment. I want you to comment 1 through 14 if you also watched all episodes. Shout out to Stizzo Speaks for
yeah,
watching
facts.
all 14 episodes
Facts.
thus far. And I'm sure by the time you're on number 15, I'm sure you're gonna watch 15 as well. Come on now, we in the game. 15 for 15. Can't wait to 30 for 30. All right, so hey, let's turn it up.
Let's do
You know
it.
what I'm saying? We got the ladies here.
Let's do
We
it.
talk about the relationships quite often here. We get to tap into the minds of the ladies. Come on, man. Hey, my question is this. It ain't even a question. It's a request. Can you please, Lisa, I want you to start this one off.
Oh, me. Okay.
Yeah, hey, man, we in here tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me your thoughts. Tell us your thoughts. Tell the audience your thoughts on the current dating culture.
Oh, wow. Okay. So my...
This ain't starting good.
it's not. It ain't starting good because it
Let me
ain't
take
been
my
good.
sip of my drink.
It ain't starting good because it's not been good. The dating culture now for me personally has been horrible. So I was married for
That's a soundboard.
Yo, for real. I was married for 11 years and getting back into the dating scene has been tragic.
Damn.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna just like these words that you're using.
They're like,
I'm like,
wait.
shit.
Yeah, they just getting worse and worse. Like,
Where you at? We at Boston? You in Boston? Where you at?
I'm in
I had to
Boston.
put all info out there on the streets.
You
but, hey.
sure did. I'm in Boston. I mean, first of all, I'm 40.
Okay.
I
Shout out to
am
the 40 gang.
attracting men that are 10 years and even younger than that.
Oh yeah.
No, that's not a good thing.
Why not?
No, it has not been good.
You don't want that young thing?
I don't want the
You ain't trying to be like Stella?
No, I don't want no groove back.
Okay, all right, okay.
I didn't lose my groove, so I'm not trying to get it back.
There you go.
Okay.
Let 'em know.
All right.
Cheers to that.
Talk about it. All right.
Come on now.
So I think that, you know, I've tried to date men that were older than me.
Yeah.
I've dated men that were younger than me, and it's just nothing's clicked. Nothing's really hit for me.
All right, yeah. Let's entertain the folks just for S&Gs ish and giggles. Tell me at least two qualities that you're looking for in a man here.
I would say someone who is consistent.
Okay.
Consistency is everything for me.
All right.
Like you can't start, and then you can't start one way and then it just trickles down and it just lessons and lessons. Like, you know, and I need someone who's honest and can communicate
Hey.
because that shows maturity.
Yes, Husky.
And if something's not working out, then we need to communicate about it. And I think that for me, my experience with dating younger men is they've just been way too emotional. And I don't like that.
No Carl Thomas.
It's very Carl Thomas.
Dang.
Yeah.
You nice with the music game, so you're gonna catch every reference.
You
that
know
I get
I
with
am.
The music.
I'm a
I like
music
that. I like that. Dang. So you prefer older then? You prefer?
I mean, at this point, I prefer whatever is gonna be what it's gonna be.
Hey man.
I mean,
The young boys said, "Well, she didn't out us all the way.
Right. You still got a
They
chance.
slide in them
Right.
DMs immediately."
So you're saying there's a chance.
I know,
You're not
right?
that far behind. I
They
think
done-
young is like 32, 29.
I'm talking about 30. Like I had a 27-year-old hit on me, and I was
that's
like, "Bro, you could be my child." Like I'm not. And he was very attractive. I almost entertained it just for the night, but I was like, you know
Just
what?
your blessing because of age. What Aaliyah said. Come on, man.
See, that's why they call them young guns, man. They quick on the trigger. See, here's
Yes,
the thing.
Husky.
I hear a lot of females say this, right?
What they
Or
say,
women, I know some women are offended by the term females, but
Really?
Yeah, get over it.
yeah, I
Yeah,
say
I
the
was
same.
like,
I say the same thing too.
Yeah,
like,
I don't
really,
agree with
whatever.
that.
So, at the end of the day, like, but I hear that though, like, young dudes will come up to them like quicker, more easily. So, but I understand not wanting to date, you know, super younger than you. I get it. I understand.
I think too, for one of the guys, we got a little serious. He didn't have children. And I cannot have any more children.
Right.
And I said, you know, and I don't want any more children.
Okay.
And he said, I don't want any children too. But I'm like, you're 30. You say that now. Like, I don't know. And then the conversations just didn't lead the way that, you know, I thought it would be. I just saw a lot of immaturity. And with age comes wisdom. With
Indeed.
experience comes wisdom. And, you know, I think that's what I find in that. So for me, I know I want to date somebody that has kids. Because
Okay.
they can identify with being a parent.
All right. All right. I think there are like some. I don't know if you're opposed to dating sites, but I think there's like
No.
dating sites specifically
I tried
for
that
people
too.
with kids. You did?
No, I tried dating sites as well.
Nah, but there's one
I
specifically
went
for
on
with
dating
kids.
sites and the apps, and I tried all of that.
That's
And
the app.
Which ones you try?
I did BLK.
Hey.
Okay.
Sponsor.
I did Hinge,
Sponsor.
and there was another one I did. I don't remember what it was.
Tender.
It was not Tinder.
I'm like,
Listen,
Bumble?
First of all, I don't need Tinder.
Ooh, come on.
Hey, listen.
Ooh, right,
Okay.
We-
Listen, I ain't got no
Come
problem in that area.
Come on,
It's
now.
the relationship
Hey.
stuff.
My bad. Yeah, I'm saying. She
But
said,
the apps were no good neither. I'm like, what kind of? And I'm used to, you know, going out and you meet somebody organically.
yeah, I like the organics.
You know, like
Organics is fly.
that's what I'm used to. But
Yeah, nothing wrong
now
with
it's like
that.
now I'm on an app and I'm like, oh,
Organic, you get to see
Swipe,
them full
swipe.
of
swipe,
person.
swipe.
Swiping, no swiping. Okay, no, thanks for sharing your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me one positive thing. Holy cannoli, guacamoles. I'm just saying. Like Lisa Marie said, the dating game is trash.
Trash.
Straight trash.
And I don't
The
want
black
no
bags.
parts.
The black bags, 55
but-
gallon.
Not the 55.
Yeah,
gallons.
55 gallon trash bags.
Like, so, I mean, like, is there a potential fix?
And I mean,
I put it on the spot because I don't even know. I mean,
is there potential fix to what?
So we always, as a culture, we be like, the dating pool has got piss in it. It's trash. But it's almost like, even at my job, right? I hate when people come to me with problems and complaining and no potential solutions.
Yeah.
So
it's like, what's a potential solution?
I think for me, I need to start looking at different types of men.
I love how you held yourself accountable right there.
Oh, of course.
That was dope.
I mean, that's the maturity in me.
Come on now.
started with you.
Accountability.
That's the 40-year-old speaking.
I love that.
So I need to try different things. I mean, what'd you say? She told me, she said, you need to find a 50-year-old to just scoop you up. And I'm like, oof.
See, let me just let the audience in on something if y'all not keen in on details. See, here's the advantage of having two guests that are women that actually know each other very well, because she knows shit we don't know. You know what I'm saying? She knows shit we don't know. So that comment came from a place of, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
she said, finally.
I'm glad you said that part.
You're holding yourself accountable.
Not in that sense, but
she's saying the men I'm choosing are trash. That's
not even that, but a lot of times when we talk about how relationships went south and what happened, we speak about people not holding themselves accountable. They always go to the mate and what did that person do wrong? So it's not for her to say what I need to do better in terms of the solution for dating. That's high key dope.
No, that's dope. That's
because
dope.
her answer could have been, the men out here are trash. Like they need to be better in communicating. They need to be better at being honest, blah, blah, blah. She didn't put it back on the men. She put it back on herself to say, what is it that I'm seeking? What is it that I'm looking for?
Right, good point.
And so when I think about the dating scene, for me, I don't take the narrative that it's trash or we got a problem, we need to fix it. I take the narrative that people take it too seriously too fast. And we're not taking our time getting to learn one another and just being human and really being honest with what we want in this lifetime. We're looking at social media as the barometer of, okay, what is satisfaction? Versus what makes my heart tick. Like if you make me happy, let's go out and have a date. Let's have fun. Let's go to Dave and Buster's for a first date. Let's go get ice cream for a first date. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But social media has manipulated the minds of so many people where they feel like they have to live up to a certain standard that's not their own. And that's where it goes awry. That's where it goes to like, now it's going in the trash bin. Now it's going in the recycle bin. And we're regurgitating the same like idea to each other. We're living and breathing the things that we say, and words are powerful. So if you're like, it's trash, it's going to be trash, you're always going to live that. Versus it's great, I'm going to get out here and just show up as me, show up as my best self. And whoever's supposed to gravitate towards me will. And it's not always going to work out. But I always say you get to experience people in this lifetime, and that's what you got to hold on to. Hold on to the experience. Don't hold on to the control factor of like, that was supposed to be my person. Do you know how many people I felt like was supposed to be my person?
No.
That was the feeling for the moment, but that's not the feeling for the lifetime.
Yeah, no. I mean, at this point, it's Jesus in God's hands at this point. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna be Jesus is my man right now. So
I thought that's where you was going with it.
I mean, that's where I'm going with it.
I heard he's
but
on
I
the
do
main
agree.
line.
I do agree with you. And social media plays a big part. But I think that we have to recognize that we are living in a fast society. So, and that's where I mean, like the dating culture is completely different because we didn't have that growing up. You know, now that's what's out there is the social media and stuff. Yeah. So
Indeed.
it's like,
Indeed.
how do you navigate through that? I think that's the challenging part.
It is, the options definitely play a factor. The grass is green on our side mentality. You know, back in the day, to your point, it was one of those, you were restricted to the people in your neighborhood.
Correct.
Yeah, family, friends of family, what have you. People you went to school with, people at the job. That's it. I mean, if they were outside of a 15-mile radius, basically, you ain't see them on a regular basis. You know what I mean? So now, shoot, somebody could be in a whole nother country, and you could connect. All these dating sites, all the dating shows and such. So with that, it could be, hey, I just saw one thing I don't like. I'm going to go on to the next. It'd be like one thing. Bro, you ain't going to like everything about everybody. You know what I'm saying? So put that,
standards.
Put that thing in that 20% bag as long as you can live with it, as long as it ain't a major red flizzy. But if I challenge all the people out there. if you in a dating game, write down the top 3 to 5 things you no kidding need.
Right.
For you to have the non-negotiables. Thank you. Like for you to have a great relationship. Need. Like, hey, I need them to have a child so that they understand my life. That could be a need. And it's like anybody that don't, I'm not gonna waste my time.
100%.
Because eventually it ain't gonna work out. Because I've always had that in the back of my head. If you're very spiritual, I need them to believe in a higher power. If that's a need, somebody that don't, why are you entertaining it? Because in the back of your mind, you may always think of that.
Right.
100%.
And you're letting
and I have
the
a
other
list.
things. You got a list. I like.
I have a list, and it's in my Bible.
Hey.
And
Jesus is fixing it for real.
Yo, that main line. What verse is on? What verse is on?
it's in the back.
Okay.
Maybe I should put it to the front. Maybe that's half the problem.
She got it in Revelations.
She got it where it's too
move it up
late.
to Genesis.
Right. It's a lot of dark stuff in Revelations.
Okay,
What's going
When
on?
Adam met Eve.
Because I look at it like it's affirmation as well. Because I put down and I write down what I want and I need in my next partner. Because people will tell me like, "Would you get married again?" I'm like, absolutely. I'm open to that. I would never not say. I'm not going to say I would never get married just because my first marriage didn't work out. That didn't. It was 2 people that just did not work out.
I like that. Put the list. Proverbs 31.
Okay.
A virtuous woman. Y'all
If
out
I
there,
get
y'all
a-
gonna
if
feel me
I
on
get
that
a
one.
man after
Y'all
this,
gonna-
I'm gonna be
y'all
like-
gonna feel me on that one. I'm trying to tell you. Those that may know the word gonna be like, hey, truck came through with that one. All right, for y'all that don't know, you even believe and you're not familiar with Proverbs 31, it's a challenge. Go look it up. And if you're a lady, try to emulate those things. If you can emulate that, I can almost guarantee you're going to attract, like Stizzo mentioned earlier, you are going to attract what you want. Proverbs 31, we in the building.
I got something. First of all, we probably need like an organ soundbite.
I know, right? Well, we taking the choice. We taking them the choice.
But I want to know like y'all thoughts, just because I got like this idea, man, and I kind of normalizing dating with grace. Because I feel like so many of us grew up learning kind of like on the fly, you know what I'm saying? And just like from our peers, like I learned how to date from the homies and people around me, or maybe like the big cousin, or just naturally through trial and error. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you don't even consult nobody. You just out here. You might hear like conversations here and there growing up. And the things that you learn when you start like dating, even though it's not serious, as a teenager, like really young, you take that into adulthood because that's what you know, right? Just like everything else in life. And as you learn, you change things. And so I think that since many people don't have like a blueprint, right? Like a lot of our families were single parent homes a lot of the times. I feel like there's a learning curve, so to speak. And I feel like we don't always think about that, on the other side. Like you meet somebody, you date them, and you just pick at these things. Right. But you don't take the time to wonder why it is the way it is, right? Like learning like that person, learning their story, learning.
100%.
Because I think then if you do that, it's a little easier for you to, number one, have grace to understand, but number two, to know how to attack it, right? Like, or help them to get to a certain place.
Yes.
So even if you don't wind up with, like Stizzo said, like even if you don't spend the rest of your life with them, you still made them better and they made you better in the process. So I think that's something that I feel like we need to do as well. And I said this last episode too, I feel like we are a generation that unfortunately has to deal with a lot of things. It has to be, has to have a certain level of patience that we don't really want to necessarily have, because it's like you just feel like life is passing you by, and it's like, when am I going to accomplish this? When am I going to be able to do that? But who's to say? You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, like we said, it's in God's hands, man. You know what I'm saying? All you can do is live your life. That's why I love, again, it's still the point you made, because really cherishing those connections, and valuing interactions, and just trying to, again, if you combine those two, right, make a list. If you make a list and you make sure that you're aligning yourself with dope people as possible, then I feel like every single time you should have, right, like at least a pretty decent experience. Right. And what more can you ask for from there? Because nobody's a fortune teller. We don't know what the future holds. All you can do is like put your best foot forward and hope it works out.
Yeah. And having grace is so key. I talked about this on a live a couple weeks ago. We're so quick to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? And when it comes to having grace, I think about when I was in the retail space as a manager, and I will coach my managers on understanding your employees' history.
Yes,
like, what's their story?
Yeah,
because half the time when they're coming to work and they have an attitude or they got a lot on their shoulders and they take it out on the customer or they take it out on you, it's because they went through something. And so for me, I relate to it so heavily because I've been in leadership 2 decades prior to what I do now. So not only that, I moved out when I was 18. So I raised myself. My father wasn't around, so I always had to defend myself. I was bullied in the 8th grade by women, so I was always on defense mode. So if anyone is around me and they don't understand or know that story, and they see a little bit of assertiveness, which they might say is aggression, they're like, what the hell is wrong with her? But they don't know my history. If I'm going out with a guy on a date and I'm the first one to the podium, it's because I've been in leadership for 2 years. So that's what I'm used to, right? I didn't have anyone to lead me. But if you know my history and you had grace for me, it would be different. And so having that grace looks like if I go on a date with a guy right now who's a little bit more in his, not, I hate the masculine energy conversation, but who is a leader, I should say, I can make a mistake. You have a conversation with me and I can be open to hearing what you're saying and take that feedback. I think you owe me something for that versus being like, oh, damn, she's really a leader and aggressive out here. Like, don't put me in that bucket and throw me away just because you saw something that might be a red flag. Have a conversation to see how I react to it. And if I'm open, that means there's opportunity there that you can help me grow. Because we all have things that we need to work on. We're not perfect. We're imperfect human beings. And I think the other part of that is we hold that grace for people we really like.
Come on now.
Right? If we don't really rock with somebody, we're quick to throw them away. But if it's somebody we really rock with and we're like, yo, I'm really feeling this person. It's like every red flizzy, shout out to Trail, every red flizzy turns pink. And we're like, nah, we could figure that out. We could figure this out. And that's what we got to be mindful of. What are the things that are really the non-negotiables that we absolutely cannot deal with? Like brushing your teeth every day is a non-negotiable for most people, right?
It should
so
be.
what's the non-negotiables and what are the things we can work on?
Being an adult.
I'm like, hold on, wait, that.
like
For some people,
You dropped a few gems there.
I'm like,
Come on, man. She dropping gems for us.
I'm
right
big
now.
on grace because I know I need a lot of grace.
Not just before eating, too. She's just
yeah.
yo.
no. I thought like 12 songs when she was talking. You could kill the game. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, baby, but you're perfect for me. I mean,
Okay, go
there
ahead,
was a
sing it
few
now.
of them, bro. There was a few of them.
know we
Like,
get it
I
up.
was biting. Like, I mean, you know me with the songs.
Nah,
but,
we,
like,
we gotta get it in, man.
Yeah,
She
I'm
what
like,
you
come
do.
on. What we
there's a
doing?
lot of great points.
That's facts.
Like I take leadership seriously, you know what I'm saying? I went to school for it. I've been in leadership similar to you with the time frames. And what you mentioned is one of the 4 I's of being a transformational leader. I ain't gonna break all 4 of them down, do your own research. But the one that she mentioned, individual consideration. So when you're leading, we're talking about the job, use that analogy, but it's directly related to a relationship. Like, yo, lead yourself first, but when you're leading others in a relationship, consider them as an individual in their background. And that's a part of the getting to know the person process.
100%.
You know what I mean? And then I like that, like when you come to a point of contention, conflict, whatever it is, we mentioned arguments last episode, you know what I'm saying? It is like, yo, take that whole person into consideration. I like that. Man, shout out to the knowledge that's being dropped this episode. Like, yo, y'all crazy with it.
That's that 40 plus club, right?
Okay,
That's that 40
period.
plus.
I hate HD with the question on 40 plus club.
Okay.
Can we hit the King's Corner real quick before we break?
Let's
Like,
do it.
can I? Y'all know I be getting after them right on the King's Corner. I'm going. Yeah, it be like that. Y'all better
here
strap
for
in.
it.
Y'all know how I do with King's Corner. I'm a bit passionate about it here. All right. This week's King Corner goes out too. I gotta check the fellas on this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
As we always do about
Gotta
this
check.
time.
That's what the King's
You know
Corner
what
be
I'm
about. Speaking of relationships,
Yes.
speaking of leading,
Yes.
that leadership, I think it stands beyond the term, the relationship. Like, if the relationship is terminated, you still should be a leader in a sense. You feel what I'm saying? What do I mean? I mean that, hey, you had a relationship. You chose that woman, bruh. You chose the woman. You had a relationship. Regardless of how it ends, be a bigger person. What is my main point here? Kings, never publicly shame your ex-lady. Don't do it.
Yeah.
That's you being a leader, bruh, in the community. One, like, yo, why would you publicly shame a woman like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you're a man.
Right.
You know what I mean? 2, you chose that woman before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And 3, yo, it's just not a good look. What part of the game is that? So, like, yo, that's the King's Corner of the week. And, like, yo, and I've been in relationships, but y'all will never see me publicly shame and drag any of the exes that I was with because there was a point where I was really feeling them.
Yeah. I think the same goes for the ladies, too.
Absolutely.
Like,
Okay, talk about it.
especially when we talk about women are a little bit more emotional than men, which that's debatable. That's episode 99 of the Peace King podcast. But like, we have to be mindful of the things we say about the people we've dealt with as women, because I know I don't have children, but I've heard stories and I've seen where baby mamas, that's just the term that they use, talk about their kids' fathers, and it gets really crazy. And at the end of the day, to Charles' point, if you really cared about somebody at a certain point, there's certain things that should not be aired laundry, right? And I've been there. When I was 22, I was in a relationship 5 years, and I outed this man so disrespectfully. It was wild. Like, I'm talking about in the middle of the club, screaming and yelling, a lot of disrespectful languages to this person.
Bruh.
Yeah. Like, it was bad. And I think it comes with maturity and being able to handle your emotions, because you can be upset, but you don't need to be upset on the good old people's internet. Like, keep that behind closed doors and work to get over it. Again, you experience people, let the hurt go. A lot of times, hurt people. Keep that in mind.
Most times.
Hurt people.
Most times people do. I see, and I don't like the term baby mama, baby daddy. Like, it's your son's father, son's mother, daughter's father. Like, that's what I use for my kid's father, because I think at the end of the day, especially when you have that relationship with somebody, that person you're 100% completely tied to forever. So at the end of the day, you drag it. That's
low facts. Yeah. Sometimes it's fortunately, sometimes it's unfortunately.
You're tied to that person forever.
Come on now.
No matter what, it does not matter if you're together, not whatever. You're tied to that person forever. So at the end of the day, you have to still have some respect for that person and to drag them. You know, and there's women out here. This one over here has a story.
You can't stop the rain.
I can't.
When it starts to
You know when HG got something brewing. You watch the podcast, you know when he got something brewing.
You know what it is.
It's the short last on the low.
Nah, for real.
But you're right. It's a commitment. I don't understand how people have a baby before they get married.
You know what? I say this to
all
everybody that I know. That is the biggest commitment that you can make with any other person. Not buying a house, not getting married, not giving a kidney, whatever it is. Like, at the end of the day, the biggest commitment you can make with somebody is having a child. So I've never understood how there's people out here that have multiple children. Like, and I always knew growing up, like, I'm like, I don't want multiple men. Like, that was just my personal thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have children with one person. That's what I wanted for myself, because I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
It's just a connection that you have to deal with this person for the rest of your life.
Clearly, I have commitment issues. I have no children. And I don't want any.
Ain't no wrong with that.
No.
Everybody just, I don't know. You know, we unfortunately, a lot of us didn't have certain foresight. You know, on the way up,
you can't stand
and got it. Listen, you can't stop the rain.
Lisa singing on the podcast now.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, it's hard out here.
It starts to fall.
It's hard out here.
Listen, it's a fact. But, you know, just to speak to the original point of, shaming each other on the internet and stuff like that publicly.
The deep side.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, it was the deep side for me.
Yeah,
we've all witnessed these things. I've witnessed them too, and some closer than others. And it's just like, so I got certain things playing in my mind as I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
And it's just wild corny, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You look like an L7. Everything about you, like, just,
What's
I'm
that?
like,
What's the
loser has
L7?
5.
Oh,
It's the train in New York?
It's a square. If you put a square L and a 7 together.
I'm thinking of the L train in New York.
I was like, what's an L7? Can you school us on that? I'm like, you look like an L7.
listen.
I mean, that's old
We
school.
we up here with
player
14
lingo.
degrees.
Hearing my semantics, I'm like, that's a rectangle.
I'm like, listen, I still count on my fingers, folks.
I'm like, those sides are not equal.
Technically.
So.
I
Yeah,
was
I'm
like, it
saying.
sounded like he
But
got
it
an
makes
engineering degree or something. I don't know what's
I was like,
happening.
loser, LOSE,
What's the L? It's very algebra-ish.
But
I was
being
like, I don't know what
L7.
the L7
I'm thinking about keyboards. I'm like, all those
Yo.
are F's. It's F size.
right?
Keyboards,
Right.
engineer.
Control
Oh,
shift.
I had like
Right.
hey, Control O, delete that mug easy. Hey, bottom line. Nah, I feel
So
what
don't
you're
be
saying.
out
You
here looking
hijacked
like
it.
an L7, y'all.
Don't be out here looking like an L7, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, just
You're
don't-
bugging.
You're
move
bugging.
You know what I
better,
mean?
man.
You're bugging.
100%.
Matter of fact, on 3, let's say it. Come on, man. 1, 2, 3.
You're
bugging.
Come on,
Yeah,
man. With
talk
that,
about
man,
it.
y'all already know what it is. I need a refill.
I definitely need one.
Let's go ahead and do what it do.
Let's do
Don't
it.
go nowhere. Y'all know what time it is. Subscribe to Peace King Podcast. You already know you need to follow everybody that's rocking right now because you're going to get great content regularly. Excuse your boy. We in the game, coach, man. We're going to be back. We got Lisa Marie. We got Stizzo Speaks. You know it's your boy, Tremont Reese.
Hungry HD.
We in the
go.
game, coach.
You are now tuned in to the Peace
King.
Stay hungry, because name one person at the top who hasn't. Our designs are catered toward the ambitious, created to inspire those who strive to maximize their potential in everything they do. We make pieces simple enough to be worn with a number of outfit options, but flashy enough to still turn heads and make a statement. At Stay Hungry Cloth, you can expect high-quality materials made to live through many wears and proper wash cycles, with a fit that is fashionable but comfortable. Most of our styles are unisex, but we also have pieces just for you ladies. No matter if you are a sneakerhead, fitness addict who likes to be fly, or someone who just loves a dope t-shirt with a message, we got you covered. Members of the Peace Kingdom, we have an exclusive offer just for you. Visit stayhungrycloth.com and enjoy 15% off your first order with the code PKP15 used at checkout. That's PKP15 for 15% off your first order at stayhungrycloth.com. Stay Hungry Cloth. Ambition is a lifestyle.
You are now tuned in to the Peace King Podcast.
Yes, we are back.
Yes,
we
Sasuke.
are back. Refills in hand.
Indeed.
I really hope that you took the time to follow Peace King Pod on the gram.
They just toast.
Did
My
they?
bad,
They
my
toasted?
bad. Yeah.
He heard
Listen,
the clinks.
We rubbing off on the people, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always a good noise to hear, though. in the
Yo, when you
background.
watch episode 1 through 14, you stay in the game. You ain't gotta get
Oh,
ready. You
that's
stay
a
ready.
fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
Hey, man, shout out to the commercial. The Stay Hungry Cloth commercial.
Oh, you see it?
Hey,
Yeah.
bro,
Oh,
I
yeah,
see
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
That junk
Yeah,
got
yeah.
it's hard. I ain't gonna
Listen,
say the condom.
that was
Because
That junk tough.
the one thing I realized, I've never in any episode took the time to like promote or advertise any. So most of the episodes that y'all see me wearing stuff is my stuff from my brand, Stay Hungry Cloth, hat, t-shirt, except for like maybe 1 or 2 episodes. So if you see any stuff that you see me rock, you like, please visit the website,
Period.
stayhungrycloth.com. It's men and women's items, and we have unisex items.
Period.
So pull up, man. You know what I'm saying?
I have
Support.
one request.
What's up?
Can we please get the beloved hoodie back?
Oh yeah, we gotta do that.
Yes, we have. Because that episode, the whole time, I'm like, I need this hoodie.
That beloved is hard.
It was so hard. And I went right to the website after and I was like,
Dang.
I get a t-shirt or a hat. But I didn't want the t-shirt or a hat. I want the hoodie.
Yeah.
So we
A
gotta
hoodie
get
is
that
always
bag.
clutch.
And shout out, make sure y'all subscribe, because if you subscribe and you pay attention, there's a code that you can use right now to go get your discounted merch.
That code
Stay Hungry Cloth. Go support the gentlemen doing their thing. Support the Black entrepreneurs, because at the end of the day, when you have a passion, you have a purpose, we need the people to show up.
I was hoping she was going to get a third P in there.
Yeah, you know, let's
bring it home.
Let's bring it home.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. On that
I like
note.
it. I
All
like
right.
it.
15%.
Oh wait, let me I gotta say this too because it's important. It's episode 15.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we 5 away from episode 20.
There you go.
Episode 20 is our second watch party.
Indeed.
Hey, listen.
They was asking about it on the live the other night.
Word?
Yeah, they said, "Hey, when's the next watch party?"
Oh yeah,
on the way. Come on now.
Facts.
OT
If you
dub.
subscribe, it's gonna make it even easier for you, right? But all you gotta do when we post we gonna post like the day before, right? We gonna post it on YouTube. Set the time for the premiere, and it's gonna be a little button that says "Notify Me" with a bell on it. All you gotta do is click on that. If you have the YouTube app, they're gonna send you a notification. If you don't, they're gonna send you an email anyway. And you gotta click that link, and it's gonna take you straight to the live. I mean, straight to the premiere. Yeah. And it's all going, be aired at the same time. We all gonna be watching it together. We gonna be in a chat with you. We gonna be chopping it up, talking our talk, fire. And I don't even know if you knew this. Episode 20 is on September 20th. So look at that. Look at the divinity.
I see that.
Look
The
at
number
God.
game.
Purpose.
Shout out to the
Look at
numerologist
God.
out there.
The
That's right
numerologist.
there. The numerologist
Yes,
out
look
there.
at God.
That's
Look
great.
at
That's
God.
dope. Can I nerd out for a second?
Not at all.
I want to nerd out for a second and put on
Good.
the entrepreneurial cap and the marketing hat and letting y'all know subscribing is so important when it comes to podcasts, because it's more so like the views count, right? So all of you who watch the podcast, and I say this all the time to Tro and HD, this is the only podcast, I promise you, the only podcast that I watch from start to end. And you all have episodes that are 60 plus minutes, and I watch the entire thing. That's not normal.
Yeah.
Most people's attention span is really short. So as much as the hours matter, the subscribers matter even more. So when you hear them say, yo, subscribe to the podcast, when we post and say subscribe, when we say send it to your friend, make sure they subscribe. If you're watching right now and you haven't subscribed, hit that button. It's so important, because if you get any value out of what they bring to this podcast on a weekly basis, the best thing that you can do for them in order to give back is to subscribe, because that's where the monetary value comes from.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, you can't put a dollar price tag on purpose, but you can put a dollar price tag on getting the positioning to keep doing what you're supposed to be doing.
100%.
And that's what your money will do. That's what the monetization will do. It'll allow these gentlemen to be able to make this bigger and greater and go from a gray couch to 2 yellow chairs and a fantastic room that makes sense to a bigger stage, to a live audience, to so many bigger things. So please subscribe. Know that it matters. And I just wanted to nerd out on that on podcast information for a second.
Shout out to the knowledge drops on all the chords. Like, yo, that's bad.
Listen. What more can I say?
I don't think we can say more on that, but I know what I can say more on this next topic.
Let's talk about it.
Ladies.
Oh,
I feel summoned. Let me go to the
I do
altar.
too, right? I'm like, okay.
It's Ash Wednesday. Let me put
Not the Ash.
I do love y'all. However, stop weaponizing your box, okay? Stop weaponizing your box. Like, come on. Like, yo. Ain't nobody got time for this. Like, what are you doing? Don't weaponize the box. We love the box. There should be no reason. Like, I'm just saying, you should weaponize it. You can't make it up. They be doing it. I can't help it. Like, yo, I just got to go on the road. They be like, yo, but it's like, yo, they just got to stop doing it. Okay? Like, yo, it's a precious thing. We love it. You know what I'm saying? But don't use it like as a punishment tool. Kind of like, I'm having an argument. Like, you're not getting it for 3 weeks. Like, what am I, 12? Like, yo, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? 1, 2. I mean,
You ready?
we know it's dope, but like, yeah, I'm not saying that if a dude ain't doing what he need to do, then you're still supposed to put out. But when you purposefully say things like that, it makes it like it's weaponizing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's just one of those things. In my opinion, don't do that. Like, just don't do it. It's just as much as we want to get the PU.
Yo. I cannot.
You want the Disney, okay? So don't be acting like this is one way. No, it's a transaction here. I want the poon.
Not the
You want the
transaction.
Disney, okay?
Not the
It is
transaction.
equal. I am just saying, like, yo, it
It's the
is what it
monthly
is.
fee.
I'm just saying, like, yo, so
It's
don't
the
weaponize
subscription.
the box. I'm tired of it. Let's put it into it. Somebody give me a gavel. Like, yo, we should put it into the weaponizing the box. If you do it, you get 1,000 days of unhappiness. I'm just saying. All right, where
Okay,
we at?
Judge Trell.
Well, I heard no weapon form against you shall prosper. So
Hey,
This sounds very
if
personal.
you want that box to prosper, you better not weaponize that thing. You know what I'm saying? Tell me where to go. Do you have a rebuttal, ma'am?
I mean, I feel like it sounds kind of personal. Like,
I mean, I do that for entertainment purposes.
I know that.
But, I'm an angel. Like, yo, I don't get into it. But I'm saying I'm the advocate for all the fellas out there.
Trell said
You
they
know
don't
what I'm
hold
saying?
out on me. They put out.
Exactly. They don't hold out on your boy. You know what I mean?
They put
I'm
out.
just
They
trying
don't
to
hold
look
out.
out for all the fellas out there.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Oh, I get spies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what we talking about over here? Like, it's a whole thing for your boy.
Yeah.
Now, all right, let me stop. All right.
No, I get it.
But what do you have to say there, man? Lisa Marie, ladies and gentlemen. Lisa Marie, go ahead.
listen, I've never been in that position to have to do that, so I can't really speak on that. I'm not weaponizing anything because I want it just as much.
Come on now.
She want the Disney.
I want
She want the
Disney
Disney.
Plus.
The
Disney
Not
Plus.
Disney Plus.
I need my subscription.
I've never heard that one before.
I need my subscription to continue. So like, I'm not never holding out for anything. I don't care what you doing. You don't take out the trash, that's fine.
That's
but
fine.
you still getting some. Like, what you
Ooh,
mean?
talk that talk. Ladies, do you hear what Lisa Marie is saying here?
The Donald-
This is
the-
what we're talking about.
The Donald D is crazy. You
Not
know what I'm saying?
Yo, we came down on all the coins.
I'm
Wow,
just saying.
DuckTales. We taking down DuckTales.
I'm just saying, like, yo, I like that. Like, yo, ladies, like, come on, like, do you believe that women like sex just as much as men do?
It depends on the
I
lady.
think it depends on the woman. Yes.
Yeah, it depends on the lady. It depends on circumstance. I feel like too. What my immediate thought was, how do men make women feel about the box for them to even feel like they can weaponize it? That was my immediate thought.
We all sign. Everybody.
Let me, hold on, that was very complex. What did you ask?
Right.
I've been
Like-
drinking. I've been
Because
drinking.
my thing is like,
Right, but
I always felt like if I'm gonna put out, I'm gonna put out because it's my decision.
Right.
Like if I want to do it, I'm
100%.
gonna do it because I want to do it, regardless of whatever factors are around. So,
Yep.
who put that thought in the world, in the universe, that it's the prize, it's the box, it's the goodies, it's the like? Where did that come from?
That came
Honestly.
from a long time ago where the power is in the pussy. Can I say that?
Well,
that's
on
been,
here?
well, yeah, this is a
I'm like,
podcast.
can I
You
say this
whatever.
on it?
I mean, I'm 41 and I'm
There's been
still
a-
like, damn, I gave my shit out, I ain't getting nothing.
Nah,
Yeah.
there have been world wars.
Yes.
There have been like conflicts galore because of a woman. Why do men get expensive cars? They don't get it. I mean, yeah, they enjoy driving it. However, the women, why do they get haircuts? Why do almost everything that a man does is so his value increases? Why? So he can get the woman. It just, I mean, like, yo, the circle of life, it all starts from.
I get that.
And it feels. How many times have you ever heard of a man like, you know what, you ain't getting on for 3 weeks?
I'd be like, you got to go. Like, what you
Who does
mean?
that? Like, yo, and
No.
if a dude does do that, I'm just straight up.
No, facts. Whose man's it? Come
But
get
again,
him.
to my point, who gave us the power?
Right.
Our desire.
Right? Because if y'all gave us the power, why you mad?
No,
No,
they
it's
didn't
our
give us the
desire.
power. I don't think
That's my
men
question.
gave us the power. I think it's the power of it in general. Like, it's just the power of you giving that
Let
to
me
someone
plug
else.
into an AV unit. 'cause
I mean, at the end of the
charge
day,
up.
sex is a connection. You know what I mean? You're inserting yourself into somebody.
Indeed.
So it's a connection. So you're going in there, you're connecting energy, you're connecting spirit, soul through that at the end of the day. However, a man can literally be like at your feet and doing what you say all the time just to get into it. And if you're not giving it to him, he is going to be like, let me, what do I got to do?
Here's the thing about
But there's so many women.
I like the way she
There
said
is.
that.
right. It's a lot of layers to this, like because women are very powerful. The box is very powerful.
Come on now.
But there always comes a point in time. I'm gonna say always, but I've seen a lot of times where like the most intelligent and headstrong and like logical and whatever under the sun accomplished whatever woman come to an impasse and makes some of like the dumbest decisions, quote unquote, possible because of a man. So it's like I feel like it kind of goes both ways, but I think maybe that's where you get into that conversation about emotions. Maybe I don't, you know what I'm saying? So it was like because it's like my push, my pushback to that conversation as far as the box having the power has always been that because it's been like I've seen chicks kind of lose themselves over the D too, but so it was like. It's about that one. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody meets their match. I think at the end of the day, or has their match. Maybe you don't meet your match, but you have a match. And so I think where you draw that line. But I think overall, as a society, we know that it obviously is the woman is the prize. And I think at the end of the day, I think what it comes down to too, I will say this. Nothing goes down, at least if you're not a serial killer, I'm saying, or a fucking dirtbag. Nothing goes down without your consent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
correct.
I think that's the ultimate like trump card when it comes down to it. You know what I'm saying?
But I also feel like men have the same power in terms of consent. It should be.
Men are consenting. It don't matter all day.
But not necessarily.
There
That's
comes
the
a point
thing.
where you do have the dick discipline, like the Disney. I don't even like saying that word. I'm mad at it. But like the Disney discipline, okay? Like it gets a point.
Yeah, we got to stop using this.
The Disney. Listen, it's gonna be real
the
bad.
The D discipline.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there comes a point where a dude will be like, "Yo, nah, I'm not gonna dip in and take a dip into everything." You know what I'm saying?
Not
like,
everything, yes.
But I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna counter my own point. All right. So I'm not saying that at any moment that a man wants it, a woman has to give it up. I'm not saying that. Like, of course, even if you're in a relationship, consent still needs to occur.
Yep.
Even in a relationship. Just because you're married or in a relationship does not mean you have a legal prostitute.
Right.
Okay.
Talk about it.
Come on now. So if your wife, like, if she doesn't want to do it, don't force her to do it. On the flip, so I'm not saying that when I say don't weaponize it. I'm saying when I say weaponize it, I mean like ladies in an argument. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be on some like, because of that, it's like saying like sleeping on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was married before. I told her I'm never sleeping on the couch ever unless I choose to. You can be mad on your side of the bed. You know what I'm saying? Like what time this is? Hey, I paid the bill today.
Get your own.
I pay the bills.
But-
Lord.
I mean, I'm just saying my name was on that.
I mean, okay. I understand that.
No, we did. I mean, she paid last year or something.
Not
But,
I'm
no shade to her. She's an absolutely great mother. Like,
you were being a man.
It'd be like that sometimes. But what I'm saying is weaponizing it by verbally stating you're not getting any for any duration of time.
That's
tonight, you could just be like, hey, I mean, I just feel like that it puts way more like your poon is way more important than my diz.
Right.
No.
And also you still like the joy and passion away from the activity in your relationship too. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't view it the same if that's how we going about it, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? If it's a business transaction, so transactional, it, takes away from the moment and the energy of it. which is a dangerous path to go down as well.
Yeah. And that's why I agree with you, HG, in the terms of I think it's more an emotional thing versus being about the power of the PUSSY. Yeah. It's like using the emotion to pull you in one direction or the other. So it's like I'm mad at you, so I'm gonna take something away from you that I know that you want.
Right.
Where it's like, that's just you being childish. That's you being immature. Because at the same time, they got it where, the makeup sex is supposed to be the greatest thing in the world. So if you mad about it, you do makeup sex, why can't you do the same when it's like, we arguing for 3 days. We gonna do it, It's the emotional capacity.
Come on now. Yeah. That's what it is. I ain't mad at it.
I mean, as we flowing, again, let's go to Audible real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a topic that's very interesting to me.
All right.
How do you guys feel about makeup sex? And have you ever had makeup sex? And what do you rate it on a scale? I mean, just talk about it. Like, I'm very interested in this.
She said, I fight all the time. I fight all the time. Only sex I have is makeup sex. What you talking about?
I'm really trying to think.
I'm just messing.
Listen, I'm going to let y'all know.
She over here in her head thinking about the stories.
Yeah.
Yo, don't do that to me. Don't you even do that to me right now. No, I'm trying to think of makeup.
I was like, was it makeup or, I mean.
Yo, Trell.
I twisted and turned. I tornadoed on a few blocks. But I don't know if I'll call it makeup sex.
Okay,
but
let's do this.
Tornadoed a few
Yo,
blocks.
facts. That means that we spin the block.
Yeah.
Because I said it last episode, or 2 episodes ago. I said I spun. You said spinning the block. And
You said he tornadoed the block.
Hey,
I was like, okay, I can understand that.
Knowing the content of the episode.
Of course, absolutely. I'm locked in. Y'all my people.
I've been there too, so I don't know if it's necessarily makeup sex.
No, that's not makeup. So let's do this, because this is what we do sometimes when we have a stalemate, or we kind of trying to figure things out. We start from the bottom, right? So let's define what makeup sex is. And that's why I asked this question, because I want to figure out, because I personally don't feel like I've ever really had makeup sex.
Yeah, I don't think
me neither.
So
I'm too heated in the moment.
Yeah, you mad, we gonna figure it out tomorrow.
Like I'm not rubbing on
in the
you
morning.
tonight.
Like, I'm super cerebral, and with almost everything. And so with me, if you get on my nerves, you're really on my fucking nerves. Like, I'm not trying to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, please. You know what I'm saying? So, but somebody told me, like, it doesn't have to be immediate. Like, it can be a day later, or even when you guys do come to a place where you're cool, and then you have sex. And if you still using some of that energy, or if it's like you talking that shit, like, remember when, you know what I'm saying? Or this is for, so I guess that could still qualify. So when I put it like that, I think, well, maybe I did. But I never had, like, DMX and Keisha and Belly. Like, I never, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know no fucking Keon. I never, you know what I'm saying? I never did the movie joint. So that's how I grew up seeing it. I was like, I never did this before. Like, how people be doing this. But people really be outside doing this, and I'll be like, they be saying it's the best ever, so I'll be trying to just live vicariously through other people.
Oh, you want to beat me in dominoes? Right. I'm beating
I think we just both mad.
Wait a minute.
We just both mad. We go about our business, and we can just come back to the regular schmeckle.
Okay. All right.
I
that's it.
I don't know about
water under the bridge.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, if we're in the middle of a disagreement, and you just like, I'm in the kitchen and we disagreeing, right? Don't be just trying to like top me off. Like, you just pulling my pants down.
What?
You trying to like, hold on. I'm trying to make a point. I'm feeling like you dismissing what I'm saying right now. Matter of fact, you can go ahead and top me off. I'm still making my point. No, but what I'm trying to get, hold on. Dude.
Add some pepper to the eggs.
Add some pepper to the eggs.
Yeah.
Go ahead, finish. You know this ain't over though.
Yeah. You know it ain't over. Go ahead, finish.
That's wild. That's wild. He said,
we so easy. Men are so easy. I ain't going front. It's
Men are like, very simple.
You're
and
back
easy.
like you're forgiven. Okay.
It don't matter.
You're forgiven. I'll go to the store from now on. I just do the grocery shopping. Like, okay, all right.
I will say though, don't try that at home with mediocre head. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's gonna work.
I cannot.
It's not gonna work out the same.
It's not gonna work out the same.
They don't have the same effect. You know what I mean?
Not the mediocre.
Yeah, you know.
HG said you might get pushed to the side.
He said, yo, go scramble them eggs.
Listen.
Watch out, little
Go
bitch.
scramble them eggs.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yo, fact.
stiff arm.
Go scramble them eggs.
It's not the same.
Like, we ain't doing that right now. We ain't doing that right now.
That was too much. I'm just more mad now.
Yeah.
There you go.
You ain't giving your all. Now I'm more upset. Get off me.
But you know what I want to point to? I want to bring that back to a point from the dating culture.
Oh man,
Live and in person. I was waiting for this moment, y'all.
Yo, it is
Live
the paper towel for me. It is the paper towel.
Listen, yeah, I'm becoming famous for the
paper
every episode.
You know you about to become a meme, right?
Wait, she said the new Jordan. She said it's the stay hungry.
I mentioned that. I think I mentioned that.
Yo, he's about to become a meme with the damn paper towel.
The stay hungry tears.
That's a challenge for all the subscribers out there. It's a challenge for you.
Get your content game up. Whoever haven't done before the end of this episode.
Yo, I'm crying.
Hold on.
No, he's literally crying, actually.
She's one of those texters.
What do you
see
mean?
what she just
I'm
did
a
there?
texter.
She said, I'm crying right now.
Yeah.
Your eyes dry as hell. You know what I'm saying? She be one of those to be texting back like, yo, I'm rolling on the floor, dying right now. Meanwhile, she's just
She's grocery shopping. She down aisle 9 getting potatoes.
Yeah, like all of it's lousy. It's like I don't believe nobody on tape.
Yeah.
No,
She's like, I'm dying. Right?
It's a saying, Trell. It's a saying. Like I'm crying. Like I'm really like.
But
I mean, he's really
you're
crying.
not even
but
like chuckling though. Like you know.
I'm really crying.
HC,
Nah,
what was
go ahead,
the
man.
point?
I'm sorry.
HC, my bad, my
you
bad.
good. So what I was saying was, that brings me back to the original point of like, you know, having your non-negotiables and really making sure that it's somebody that you're truly interested in. Because like you say, like even in these moments like makeup, sex, or arguing, and you said men are easy, you gonna let that slide. Like you gonna let something slide with somebody that you really
You
locked
gonna let
into.
a lot slide.
But if it's somebody that you ain't, like I said, and the head is mediocre, that's what's gonna be playing in your head. Like in your head, trash too. Like you know what I'm saying? So like you gonna be on that type of time. You know what I mean?
Do
Like
you teach? Okay, boom. Segue though. Wow, were you done? My
yeah,
bad.
we're finished.
Would you teach? And then y'all can time in on this one.
Hold on.
Are you teaching her?
So I don't feel like I'm the greatest teacher.
Yeah,
You
what?
said I ain't go to school to teach.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm a great teacher, but
No, Lisa will put you in the chokehold.
yo,
That's her teaching. If you ain't
so
doing it
this
right, she's gonna put you in the chokehold.
about force.
She got a story about this.
Okay.
Please share the story.
no,
no, story time.
like no. What's
You gotta share the story to chokehold.
We can't get the abridged version. Like she said.
This is a Peace King podcast, and we got stories.
She
You
done
gotta
put you on the spot. I
gotta
ain't
share
know the
story.
story, but you good.
you know the story?
I said I don't know.
Oh, I was like, how you know the story?
I don't know not a damn nothing.
Not a nan, not a
No.
So recap.
Oh,
my man
wow.
HD recap. You say you won't.
You say you won't teach.
because you mentioned.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm a good teacher.
So you want her to just know.
Yeah, like
He wants her with experience.
all batteries included. You know what I'm saying?
He gotta see.
I mean, like,
He needs to see the
I don't know any
resume.
additional parts.
He gotta see
said-
the resume with
You-
a long length of history
You didn't
of
see the,
employment.
you didn't see the side of the box where it said you need 2 double D's.
right.
Are you giving
Not
second
included.
chances?
Go
Are
pick
you-
it up at house 7.
Are you saying like don't? Let's play the idea of
What she
mediocre
start
brains.
biting? See,
Are
see,
you
y'all can't get me on
Are you
this.
giving instructions during the brain? session?
That's all my y'all can't get me on this. What she start biting? or
So
something?
here's the thing: if you biting, first of all, like,
Who
listen,
does that?
yeah, really, like
I'm-
what are we?
I don't know who does that. I mean, I'm sure there's women out there.
That's like super beginner level. We got bigger problems.
Well,
That's
maybe
what I'm saying at this point.
Like that's
Baby.
a crime. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's assault.
Nigga said, let me call
Okay.
911.
Hey, what part of the game is that?
We on law with SVU.
911.
What part of the game is
Let me
that?
call
SVU is
911.
wild.
Right, SVU. Olivia. Benson. What's happening?
Boom, 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 boom.
Dun-dun. Yo,
Don't.
I cannot.
Wow.
These are special cases handled by. Hold on. So, listen. Yeah, nah. That's too crazy. Like, excuse me. So, I've tried that, and I every now and then I will like give instructions during.
Like how?
Even that, like
I like specifics.
that,
Right, audience? We like
Say-
specifics.
she said,
so it's
give
like
an
either
example.
like tighten your jaw a little more, or
Yo.
put your tongue here, or you know what I mean. So it's like, or a little wetter, like slap. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's like.
Like spit on it.
Times.
Like
well, not
spit.
no. During
No, he's talking about during fellatio.
during fellatio.
Yeah.
So, but even that, when I in those moments, it feel like it just feel mad remedial. Something about it just feels it takes away from
You're
the
gonna be thinking
overall
too much.
enjoyment.
Yeah, it's like
Because
I gotta get out of
you're
just
like
sitting back.
leading too much.
Right, exactly.
Right, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Because a part of the experience is just sitting back and letting go.
Correct.
No frozen. You feel what
But
I'm
if
saying?
it starts off good and then it goes left, I feel like you do have to instruct.
The course correction.
Course correction.
That's
So
true.
the power-
I could
That's
could
what I
understand
mean. So my story is that he was doing what he had to do, and I was like, all right, to the left. All right, stay right there. Stay right there.
Take it back now.
I'm like, what is that?
Two hops.
R.I.P. to
back
DJ
for it.
Casper. He passed away
He
this week.
sure did. I know the cha-cha slide dude.
Yeah.
I know.
But one hop this time.
You heard it here
All
first.
right, now I gotta go back to being like. Then he was down there,
Okay. Hey, go ahead.
and I'm like, yo, and I'm like, if you don't stay there, I'm about to kick you in your neck. Like
he was in the rhythm.
he was not in a good
Messing the
rhythm.
rhythm up.
No,
He
but
was
you
fucking
said
the
if you
rhythm
don't
up.
stay there.
Yeah, like he was fucking it up.
But
But
you
he
knew
found
that
a
he
rhythm
found
at
the
some
rhythm.
point.
He
I mean,
found
I'm
the
gonna
point.
kick you in your neck right now if you don't. And then I had to do the little.
Like she
Leg
really
lock?
did the crisscross.
So he was coloningus.
Crisscross. This is very appropriate. It was a song. Like
Hands on your knees.
everybody,
he was
clap your
downtown.
hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was downtown,
Mm-hmm.
not yet Pound Town, but downtown. Cunnilingus status, oral, if you will, for Plizzy, if you will. And he was doing what he needed to do
Right. He kept taking the
at a point,
train
and you
off
were
the track.
like, "Stop!"
He did.
Stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stop
'cause
taking
I'm
the
like,
train
Because
off.
you're
to
in the
be-
flow. You're
Yeah.
hitting. You're
Like
paying
I know what
attention
I
to
like
the,
for myself. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not there and you're not like an expert at it, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk you through it because you're already there. You're already committed.
Okay.
So now, like you have to
She
now.
said she gonna teach.
Now I'm gonna have to help
She
you.
gonna give her a
she
step by
showed
step
my-
Yeah.
booklet because she, you know what I'm
You
saying.
get him on track.
Now you
And then if
really
it ain't
gonna
good, then you gotta
Yes,
come
sir.
up and it's a wrap. Bye. See
figure
you
it out.
later.
My
Are
greatest
y'all
oral
kissing
sex came from a
afterwards?
woman.
Who? I've kissed. I mean, I ain't.
If a dude go, okay, we get mad personal, but go ahead.
I mean,
If
there's
I
feel
don't
like that
mind.
was
It's
a great
mine,
question.
so I
It's
don't
great.
care.
Like if
There you go.
a man's downtown, he comes up to kiss you.
It's mine. Yeah. Why
Okay,
not?
all right.
I mean,
Now,
I've
shout
had
out to-
situations where I did the taste test before
Not
to
the
make sure.
taste test.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. I'm gonna make sure
This
it's.
is a
Like,
first over here.
I'm
Hold
gonna
up.
make sure that I'm gonna make sure it's good before it's good.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't
yo,
know
We
what
wanna
sound
make
effect
sure
you
you
looking
know-
for, but we need
Not
something.
not for nothing. Like, I don't think I've ever been in a situation like last episode where it was like the scent and all. Like I've
Oh, yeah,
never.
that was crazy.
As much as I remember, I've never really had that situation.
Sheesh.
If I've had something where it was a
You
challenge,
didn't
I know.
feel something. Yeah. Right.
Right, or if I eat lobster or shrimp, I have an issue with shellfish. It's a natural thing. Right, exactly. It's a natural thing where it just does not work with my body. So I know I'm not eating that before I know it's gonna go
At
down.
least you know.
I know myself, and that's the thing, ladies. Know yourself.
pH balance, y'all.
Like know yourself. Know what your body does. And so in those situations, because I'm from New England, y'all, I'm from Boston, so I love lobsters. One of my favorite foods.
Clam chowder.
If I know I'm gonna have that, I can pace, and I'm like, what's going on? But I've never had really a situation where it's like, yo, my shit's just off key, off the director. But I've had a guy that I was in a relationship with, like it's a little tangy, like yogurt. And I'm like, okay, let me find out. I drink coffee every single day.
It's a little tangy.
It was a little tangy. And I tried it. I said, let me
but-
find out what he's talking about.
Right. That's the part.
I tried it.
That's the part everybody else gets.
Not
That's the
the
part I
Sunny
was putting
D.
on.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, let me find out. That's the part that I heard.
I was like, let me.
I would be the same way.
I was curious as to what, because I don't know nothing about no tangy. Like, what's tangy mean?
I gotta know.
I want to exactly. I want to know.
It's the tangy
So
Sunny D
I
for
tried
me.
it for myself so I can understand
The
what's
Sunny,
going on.
they had the Sunny D tangy.
Big,
The Sunny
legit.
D
Listen, I don't. One thing I don't do is hide from my doctor. So I said,
Absolutely
okay,
not.
let me go figure out what's
Absolutely
going
not.
on. And I drink coffee every day, so I'm very acidic, and that makes a difference. It makes a difference.
It does.
You got to know your body, ladies.
Women has to know
body.
their
Everyone
body.
is different. You have
Yes.
to know your body. You have to know your levels. And so because I drink coffee after that, I have to off balance that with water that has
Come on
pH.
now.
a
Talk
higher
to the
pH.
ladies.
So
put them on game.
for me, it wasn't an embarrassing moment like, oh, it's a little tangy. Da, da, da. It's okay. Let me find out what is really going on. Let me go see what I need to see because I need to know.
What
Yes.
the?
Like, listen,
Yes.
it's taste test central. Like we at Costco. What they got on sale
It's a
today?
sample. You gotta sample it first.
Listen, I want to know what you're talking about because you ain't about to be out here 8 Mile me. I'm gonna 8 Mile myself first.
Talk about, yo, she got that Sunny D, yo.
Okay,
she got that Sunny D.
Clean bill of health.
You know about that tang.
Clean bill of health. The tears.
But it's good now though.
It's good.
Talk to him. Talk your talk. Like, yo, build yourself up. There.
It's great, but
she
certain
said, I've been drinking that water.
Yeah, certain things affect your body.
Okay.
Like, I'm not big on medicine. My mom never took Excedrin, aspirin, none of that in her lifetime. So again, we talked about earlier. We talked about.
He might need another paper towel, y'all. Get that roll for him over there.
Real talk.
Get that roll for him over here, yo.
Y'all know one thing about Stizzo, she gonna speak and she gonna get real raw.
Yo, get that roll over there.
Real raw rap.
Listen,
you already know what time
everything I speak about, I've been through and I'm healed from. So
nah,
it
you
can't do
speaking
nothing to me.
gems though. Don't get it twisted.
But like,
nah, you talking some shit.
My mom never took aspirin, except like she didn't do those things. She didn't believe in it. So for me, I'm not the big person on take a probiotic and do all this like
probiotic,
whatever the fuck it's called. See, I don't even know what it is. I don't know if I can swear. Sorry, my bad.
Holistic.
That was the like serious one. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't the light one. Now I need to pull.
Pause. It was like that episode where she was like, "You ready for these?" My bad. Sorry, I was keeping it too real.
You said we got.
Yo, I can't believe
I put out the
is,
censor button on stage. She feels some way. Like
when it gets real, it gets real. Check my vocab. My bad.
No, you good.
Said, let me sound it out. Probiotic.
Not the symbols.
I know what an antibiotic is.
Probiotic is something that helps
instead
women.
Of anti, it's the pro.
It's supposed to help your digestive system.
Shout out to the nurses and the doctors and
it's
all those.
It's supposed to help your digestive system.
I just think a holistic approach. Let me eat some more yogurt.
He said, I got
yogurt has a lot of 1,000 million cultures in it.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Do sea moss help the poon tang?
I think sea moss helps the body.
I'm going to say
that's what it was.
Soap helps your poontang.
He called it a poontang.
You said I got some water, some milk, some purple stuff.
You didn't have the poon. You had the poontang.
Possibly.
Oh, we getting.
She had Sunny D. She had the Sunny D.
He said, "Yo, get the purple stuff."
He said,
"Yo, as long as it wasn't an STD with the poontang, I'm good."
Yo, facts.
Okay. Like,
bro said it's a little tang. And Stiz was like,
I can't.
Let's figure it out.
I can't. So wait, have you? I'm gonna ask a question now. Hold on.
This was a long time ago, and I'm being funny. Yeah. But
it's all good.
No, to be honest with you,
I'm not offended.
I appreciate your story.
I'm not offended.
Because that's a light. That's nothing. Yeah. I've been in situations where it was way worse.
I was gonna say, have y'all been in situations where it's like
last episode?
I'm not.
Wait, you even started though?
I mean, like, I ain't know until you dropped the draws.
Okay.
I was already aroused.
The BV. Yep.
Yeah.
Last episode. Make sure y'all check out episode 14.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So if you on 15 right now, just go back to 14.
Take them acid
towards the end,
pills.
you're gonna see all that.
Come on,
but
talk the talk.
You know, it is what it is. Like, it happens, and I think I say that part because I want women to feel comfortable having a conversation. Because I think there is a stigma behind, how do we talk about the challenges when it comes to the body? Is some things we can't control. I used to have a dude that liked me to finger him in his asshole.
Yo, wait, hold on.
Hey, who mess is this?
I can't even hold it together. Sorry, I can't hold it together.
Yo.
I'm crying. I'm literally crying now.
That was mad, like just seamless and just like I didn't understand.
It was so casual. I used to have it.
Okay,
pineapples, fam. Like, I wasn't ready at all. I didn't know.
But there's a point I want to make to that.
Paper towel.
I didn't know.
What pagan is going on?
I didn't know.
There's a point I want to make to that to the audience because it brings me back to episode 14. And what I'm thinking about is like when that happened. There's bodily fluids that's involved in that. So when that goes down, for me, I'm then touching myself. I'm pleasuring myself and not thinking about the fact that like the bodily fluids from that area is now on your fingertips and going to a different area.
Yeah.
So then you have an issue. But sometimes
His
women
booty hole
feel
was
like
brown.
not the pound out. Not the pound out. But women may feel like they don't feel comfortable having a conversation. I know there's some women who won't even feel comfortable saying I have a yeast infection.
Oh wow.
Right? And it's you can get that from the gym, you can get it from a swimming pool. Like we need to normalize having the sexual health conversations with our partners. That's a real thing.
I agree.
And so I say that and I put myself on Front Street because I don't mind. Like I'm not embarrassed by anything. Like there's nothing anybody can say to me that make me embarrassed.
100%.
I mean, I'm 41. I've been through a couple of things. And at the end of the day, I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I'm still ticking.
I know a thing or two.
And my my chart is real. My my chart is real. So
the my chart.
Yeah.
Yes. And I work in the waxing industry, and
you see a lot of stuff.
There is a lot of stuff, and these women.
How did we get here?
I don't know how we got here, but women need to really make sure they take care of themselves because
you wear a mask.
No, see,
Yes.
I lead. I'm management, but my waxers, the stories that they tell me.
Sheesh.
Women they have like cottage cheese build up. They'll come in after having sex and the semen is still coming out. There's, in their butthole is like tissue balls still. Like it's bad.
See, here's the problem. See, this is why.
This is bad. It's bad how some women really
HD still trying to get it together.
This is why.
Sorry, I didn't mean to give you that whole alley.
It's real bad. No, it's real bad.
When they say that women are the prize and the box is the prize.
It's really the Cracker Jack box.
Yeah, you're doing
It's really the Cracker Jack box.
Y'all showing up like this. Y'all taking it down a lot of notches.
It's the box of chocolates.
Yeah,
You never know what you're gonna get.
Like,
but there are men out there that will take down whatever.
That's a fact. But see, that's why I agree with what Stiz said just now. Everything she said was on point. And again, we just talked about it a little earlier. Well, I think I said the fact that we all kind of learn things on the fly. A lot of us. I think sex ed was number one of them things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like learning your body and learning sexual education. And the health and everything that comes with that. And the challenges and the danger and everything. Learned on the fly. And it wasn't an open conversation, right? Like it was something that people were embarrassed about. A lot of times, and so it's definitely dope that we had this conversation. Dope that you said that because we should start feeling more comfortable, and it's not always gonna be comfortable, but at least try to have those conversations. And especially if you got children, hopefully you're gonna raise them to be more open, have those conversations, to educate them a lot sooner and earlier. Because I didn't get any education. I don't know about y'all, but you know what I'm saying. I showed up in school. We had like I had a sex ed class in high school one time, and even that wasn't that crazy. Like it was, you know what I'm saying. So
it was how to put a condom on and don't get STDs.
Yeah, mine was
that's what it was.
STI focus. We ain't even had STI verbiage.
No, we had STDs when we were growing up. Yeah,
right.
Now
STDs when you was growing up.
Yeah, STDs.
What you say?
Oh no, you talking about? I'm not got it.
What you say?
Yeah, I got it.
He coming for me right now?
But he made a joke, but. Yeah, but even when they had that conversation in high school too, like the STD conversation, but it wasn't as serious as it should have been. You know what I'm saying? I think it was more emphasis around that time and that era. We had this conversation too in one of the episodes, talking about like the free condom giveaway. It was about like that. You know what I'm saying? Not having kids having kids and teenage pregnancy.
Well, you know why they did the free condom giveaway, right? It was because of because of the gays, and they thought gays brought HIV over, and that's why they started doing that. So then. Right, and then they started realizing like, okay, it wasn't that, and then so that's really where it stemmed from, that.
Because they thought it was back in the day where they thought that if you had HIV that you were gay.
You were gay.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember Magic Johnson came out with the HIV.
Yep.
But even if it started in that community, you got the down low bros.
Yep.
Yeah.
That may be hooking up in that community and then hooking up with their wife or their lady that they front with, and it brings it into the other community. It was like, what was something recently, and
I saw that.
And
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I forget what
there was an outbreak somewhere of something,
and it was not like in one community, but it's as if they didn't want to say. But the key thing was it was all folks in a certain community.
I saw that.
They have a month that they celebrate, and it was like. and they had to include it in. I forget what it was like.
Me too. I
but
saw it
y'all
quickly.
gonna know what we're
Yeah.
talking about. But I was like, yo, there are some things. I ain't even gonna go down the whole road with it. I do have opinions. I think the men, we are more sexually driven, like in hyper wise. We think about it all the time. We can't help it. There are some ladies who may think about it all the time. Ladies always want to have me. I think about it all the time. Okay, you're an anomaly.
That's a whole
All
nother
No, I
conversation.
definitely do.
I feel
I'm
like
just talking
She's like,
about-
yes, you do. I definitely do.
Yeah.
No, I
I'm
think
like-
it's a whole nother conversation.
But
too.
But
it is,
no,
yes.
when we think about it, when I say all the time, all the time.
So
Okay,
Let me know.
there's
I don't
certain
know.
exceptions.
Yeah, I'm
but like I don't know.
I think-
I'm a man. I can only speak for
I mean,
me.
listen.
To bring it back full circle, because I want to make sure I make the point on the podcast, because I know we had a moment and it was funny and it was like there's jokes involved in it. But to bring it back full circle, I thought about that moment because I thought about dating, right? And sometimes dating can become very lusty. And we don't have the conversations that we need to have up front because we're afraid or we're scared, or we just go off of the lust and we don't invest in like the consequence to our actions.
Correct.
And we just need to have the honest dialogue of where we are in at this time in our lives. And so I wanted to make that point to say, hey, when we're out here in this world and we're being humans and we're going about our business, like let's be okay not being okay sometimes.
Right.
And if you're with
Absolutely.
your partner, you should be with somebody that you feel okay not being okay and having that conversation and that be totally fine. Because I've been there. I've been in situations where I didn't feel comfortable saying I had a yeast infection.
Right.
And I know it wasn't necessarily from anything that was STD related, because anybody who knows about yeast infections, you know the backstory.
like
I
a
don't need to teach
UTI
you.
or
Or the
things
UTI,
like that.
exactly. But it's really important, especially at this big old age, for our younger women, if you're watching this podcast, to understand that there's things you're gonna go through and just be able to seek the information and the knowledge that you need, and don't let anyone make you feel any less than of yourself because your body is going through a moment.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to bring that back full circle
And-
and say we had this moment for a reason.
And I would say
was a great
just
point.
still use
Great point.
protection. A lot of experiences that I've encountered, especially with younger men, they are so quick to just pull it out and try to stick it in. And I'm like, whoa.
Sheesh.
That's all the time.
yeah.
Relax, fellas.
Yeah.
Okay, wrap it up. Okay,
Yeah, please.
wrap it up.
You think that's all the time?
I mean, it happens a lot. And I think women are accountable.
crazy.
I don't even want to get into that conversation because
That might
that's
be
a whole nother
You see
episode.
what-
That's
that might be
episode 999.
300.
Sexy Red, she's a popular song. We quoted her song like twice tonight. She mentioned today, it was on the blogospheres, social media spheres. She said, I don't like use condoms. She said, raw daddy all day.
Now,
All that.
I'm not a fan of them. However, if it's a new partner and things like that, like we have to
You got to
be
build the
protected.
trust with it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You gotta pay attention to the
That's why
person.
so many
Exactly.
Know your people. KYP
KYP.
in the building. KYP. Know your
KYP.
people.
Speaking of KY though. Sometimes you shouldn't
Of
need
the
it.
utmost importance.
Sometimes you shouldn't need it, but it does. I
lot
do
of
want to
times.
hit this. I had a topic. We had a topic. You brought it up. Can't take credit. You mentioned a word earlier today. I was like, I don't even know what the hell that is.
Oh.
My man said outer play. What'd you say? No, outer course.
Yeah,
outer
outer
course.
course. Outer course.
Outer course.
inside.
So I know where intercourse is, right? That's thinking of Disney and the Pooh dance. What in the world is outer course? Please enlighten us, bit that.
So outer course is pretty much what we know intercourse is, right? So everything that happens within, right, that's sexually, that's intercourse. But outer course is everything that happens outside, right, of the body. So we're talking about foreplay, stimulation, and leading up to. And I don't want to sound like I'm an expert. I've just, recently learned this in the last probably year or so. But it's just another phrase for that, pretty much, right? Like just the foreplay and the leading up to intercourse, right? Like the pre-game, before the actual party.
Happy hour.
Do you think foreplay outer
So
course is
I was
a
just
lost
gonna
art?
say that.
Go ahead.
Is outer course the same as foreplay? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's pretty much the
Okay.
same thing. Yeah. And so, that I have my thoughts on it, right? So I'll give my thoughts too, but I do want to know from the ladies, do y'all guys feel like it's a lost art? And maybe I should Should I give my point first or should I let y'all give it? I'll just
Rock
give
your
my
point. Rock
Yeah,
your
I
point.
was gonna say,
we
let's
can
hear
go
your
from you all the way
Yeah,
through.
let's hear it. Rock your
All
point.
right,
Yeah.
let's do that. So I feel like it's vitally important.
Vitally.
I think the part that I can't speak on, which is why I was talking about the ladies going, is that I don't really know what dudes are doing out here. You know, I hear stories, so it's like I kind of know, so to speak. But I would want to feel like dudes know how important it is, and I would want to feel like they put in the kind of time, energy, and effort that deserves to be put into it. But again, I just speak for myself. Like, super important, is very necessary. For me, it doesn't have to be a part of every session, but I'm going to lean heavily towards that being a part of the session. Like, I need for everything to be flowing the way it need to be flowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I go turn the faucet on, I don't need like drip. I need that shit to flow out the way I used to. I don't need low water.
I love that.
Like, you ever take a
analogy.
shower in somewhere, somebody else's house or hotel, and the water pressure is trash? You be missing your house. You missing home. Right? I need the shit to feel like home, family. You know what I'm saying? So like when I turn it on, I need it to flow properly. Right. And so I think here's the thing, right? Like a lot of dudes might say or be like, oh, it was trash or she was trash. Maybe you were trash. Maybe your foreplay game was
Say
trash.
it again.
Speak on it.
Speak on it. Speak your piece, king.
Speak on
Hey, man.
it.
I will have to say, and this took me a while to kind of light bulb to go off and realize why I haven't had a lot of bad sexual experiences in my life that were just trash. And I feel like it's because of the energy and effort I put into it, right? So it's like, it's all about reciprocation, you know what I'm saying, and feeding off the energy. And then personally, I feed off energy. So whatever you give, and I'm going to give back, and I'm going to try to turn it up a couple notches, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like leading up to it, I get heavily into, I like high-level conversation. Like I said, a lot of times on this pod, on live, you know what I'm saying? If y'all talk to me, I know that. So it's like the conversation leading into it, that's part of foreplay, believe it or not. Fellas, ladies who might not know that, not just oral. Like we think about foreplay, it's just like oral or kissing, you know what I'm saying, or rubbing on. Like it's the conversation. You know, the way you guys interact with each other, it's the vibe.
I don't run. I got one, coach. I got one.
It's the chemistry. So all of that is very important. And I feel like you got to take your time and really put time and energy into that. And the dividends will pay themselves.
Come on now.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. Hey, Steve dropping the gems for you.
I totally agree because I'm a romantic at the end of the day. I think that's just my nature. And like, I want to please, I want to be pleased. And I think it definitely stems from energy, you know, what's putting off. And I don't look at oral as foreplay. Like you guys, I think you said it earlier and you said it just now. That's sex. It's just oral sex. I don't look at oral as foreplay at all. I think that's a process of sex, a sexual activity. But like kissing, touching, I think also too, like, you know, I'm old school, so I'm used to like putting the finger, rubbing up down there with the fingers. Like,
Wait, hold on.
Are you
There's
saying
levels-
that
there's
are you
levels
saying
to the
that it
fingers.
is, or are you saying that it's not? What are you
no,
saying?
I'm saying I like that. I'm old
Yeah.
school. So back in
Yeah.
the day,
Levels.
like,
Yeah.
you know, you would go down there,
Go hit
finger
that G-
it,
hit that
feel
G-spot
it,
though
you
one
know,
time
get a
for
little
the
wet.
time.
You
You
know,
talk
you know
about
how you
that.
do.
I ain't mean to do all the graphics like that. My bad, y'all.
Yeah, like you want a piano.
Now the audience knows.
You want a piano, you gotta hit that D note, like, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
The D note. All right.
So
All right. Okay.
those type of things
Ray
is part
Charles,
of
though. You know what I mean? Thelonious Monk out this. Come on.
But I think it's huge.
Georgia. Georgia.
Yo, y'all are killing
I'm
me.
just saying.
I think it's important, and I do feel I've been in situations where there was not much foreplay,
Right.
and it turned me off immediately. And I'm like, you know, I'm
the
all
lack
set.
of foreplay is attributed to? Why do you think there will
think
be
it's
a
a
lack
mix.
of foreplay?
I think it's a mix of things. I think it has to do with your maturity of your sex life.
Okay.
Because not that you have to have an enormous amount of partners, right, to understand that, but I think you have to have been through certain experiences in your sex life to be able to get to that point.
Okay.
Meaning, like, the more experience you have, you understand the whole dynamic of the sexual experience versus just getting right to it. Pound town.
Correct.
I think that's a good point. I'm gonna let you. So with some of the ladies now, if the dude is not going hammer with the foreplay, you can't question how he feels about you.
You can, because also if he just wants to go pound town, then he's just trying to fuck and that's it.
He's just trying to get a nut.
If there's no foreplay involved,
Disney.
He's just trying to get in. And if you're allowing it, then that's for you. But for me, that's not happening. Like, I need all of the, like...
I just wanted to give the opposite
of
it.
Accoutrement.
Like, yo,
yes.
Yeah, but that's a good point. Like, yo, so the ladies, well, we ain't hear from all of them. Okay?
We ain't hear from all of them.
All of them.
Both of them.
Yeah, for me, foreplay is more so about how do you make me feel like you want me.
Oh, I like that.
That's a good
Because I think one thing women go through often, whether you're small, big, anything in between, is we're in our heads a lot. That's just natural because we're nurturers, pleasing. We want to make sure you're good. So if we're in our heads so much, I need you to put me at ease. I need to feel like you really want this experience. And if I don't get that, it's Las Vegas, Nevada. Drive. Okay? It's not happening. I don't care who you are, how much I like you, how much I think you're attractive. It's not happening.
Right now. So, good.
Folks.
Las Vegas, nada.
Las Vegas, nada. Nada. Right. But if you, like, for me, I don't even care if you lie to me.
No, don't do
Like,
that.
no,
Don't do that.
for me, that's what I said. For me.
Okay, because I was like, don't do that.
No, for me, I don't care. You can tell me the most craziest story ever and make me feel like I am top notch, the thing you've been waiting for, and that is it. That's what I need. And so it's about, like HD said, the conversation prior.
Correct.
If we're out, we're at a club, we're mingling, we're doing whatever we need to do, you make me feel like when we get back, it's going down, it's going down. But I definitely need foreplay. I'm a kisser. I love people who know how to kiss and can be affectionate.
That's amazing.
That works for me.
That tongue.
Yeah, kissing makes
amazing.
it's an intimate thing, and I don't kiss everybody. So there's been situations where I'm like, okay, I know this is gonna be a dub. This is just what it is, and it's like I'm not doing all that, going all there and that. This, not, and the third. But if you can actually French kiss,
that is so good.
That's a big part of it. And when you use the fingers and you're in the box, like when you playing that D note, please play the D note correctly.
Correct.
Because you can very much turn off a woman by playing with her box the wrong way. Like that rough shit, it does not work.
Good.
It's
the
not
same
okay.
thing with the tongue.
Yeah. It's like teeth on the head. Like, it's not okay.
Exactly.
So there's a lot to it, but I think it all boils back to what's your relationship with the person that you're sleeping with. Like, how much do you know that person to understand their body, their wants, their needs, and what matters? And if you don't understand that, how do we figure that piece out? And the more you have chemistry, the more, like, naturally the foreplay may not be as crazy because you have the chemistry, and the chemistry is going to do it for you. Right. But if your chemistry is not crazy, but you know you got some liking for that person, maybe you just need to do a little bit more.
I think physical attraction plays a big part too. Because I've been in situations where there's a lot of physical attraction and really not chemistry because we just haven't gotten extremely that far into it. And the physical attraction plays a huge part for me personally.
That's good points.
And sometimes it's just the body. Fellas,
it is.
Just to let y'all know, sometimes I was on Depo for 12 years and I was a desert.
Depo is a birth
control. If you don't know,
Depo
Depo birth control, it affects your body.
They put y'all on that.
So sometimes it's not even a woman. It's not even like she necessarily wants to be dry and she's not into it. It's just sometimes the chemistry of the body is crazy and you can't control those things. There's women who can't squirt. I've never squirted a day in my life. In college I had those moments where it was like I felt like I had to pee. I learned later that might have been it.
You gotta release it.
Stizzo, you were there. I didn't know that back then.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Right? So there's so many factors, and I think it boils back down to, again, what's the dynamic between you and that person? Because if the dynamic between you and that person is great, you can work through anything.
Comfort.
She don't need to be squirting
Indeed.
8 feet. She don't need to be as wet as the pool.
squirting 8
Like
feet.
it can work. That would be a say. I know last episode playground, but again, going back to
It was the
grace.
sprinklers.
No.
It was the sprinklers.
Going back to grace and HD talking about grace, like it's just it's so much more to the dynamic. I think just for me, and maybe that's just my experience.
And hey, your opinion is valid. Like you got life experiences. Excuse me. All right. What does your boy think? Like, what do I think about this? Like,
Extra Maurice.
I can't. You know what this is. Like, for Plizzy, okay?
Outercourse.
Like, what's going on?
Outercourse.
Outercourse foreplay. Is it a lost art? I don't know. Like my man HD said, I don't know what the men are doing out there. I know that sometimes I personally, the foreplay beforehand, like all of the flirting, the like tapping on the behind, the talking about it, and all like I guess as a man, I don't know about all men, but I could get aroused so easily. You know what I'm saying? It's just so easy. The attraction, it does increase it, right? The looking forward to it, it increases. Even if we out and about and we're talking about it. Like when we get to the crib, that part. When you was like, so those points are so freaking valid as I reflect on the past times. Now, I will say that, like, sometimes men out here, you know what I mean? I've been guilty of it myself. You kind of want to get straight to the point. That's why I would say, like, there's been times where it probably was a lost art for your boy. But it's like, you just want to get straight to it. And you can take it for granted. You can take it for granted that, like, it's always splash waterfalls. But, I mean, like, take it to the account of everyone is unique. So it's like, you can't always assume. You know what happens when you assume, big dog. So if you wanted to go down and you wanted to make an impact, it would behoove you.
It's a fact.
To outercourse it or to do the foreplay. And I think more times than not, if you ask 100 women, how many of y'all like foreplay? I would say it would be in the 90s of those to say absolutely.
Yeah, because it's just a natural body thing.
On the side of caution.
Men got it good.
Y'all can get hard in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's
for
different.
us. It takes a lot more.
Hold on. Number one, it depends on
don't say not Eltro Maurice.
Men can.
I'm 37 years old. But I've heard horror stories of about 50-plus-year-old brothers like that.
Okay, we ain't talking about.
We talk about the vibe.
We ain't talking
don't
about.
Don't act like they don't matter.
You don't do that. I don't like that.
Like, they matter.
I don't like that.
They matter.
That approved.
Oh, okay. We're not talking about erectile dysfunction and all of that. We're not.
Just said men could get up by easy.
Majority of men.
Okay, now
that's what y'all do.
Under the age
like you could swipe by it and just. And
it's R.I.P. to K.I. like Kevin Sams.
The love in the club.
Ding.
Kevin Sams was about to go down. Like,
don't talk about
to get it in.
Listen, I got a few things to say actually. Number one, on that last point you made. Health is wealth, fellas.
Health is wealth.
You know what I'm saying? Water is very important.
Water is Jesus in a bottle.
Beet juice is all natural, is good for you. Pineapple juice is good for you.
Come on,
these are all things that help your body. You know what I'm saying? Help with erection, help the blood flow. You know what I'm saying? Exercise, it's beautiful. It helps you.
I worked out.
Yeah, I mean, once you get over 30, it starts lessening, but over 40 even more, and that's testosterone. So take a testosterone booster.
Indeed.
These are all things that you could do. Obviously vegetables, so many other things that you could do. But that's very important, right? When we talk about ED and getting older and all those things. Obviously, I'm not in my 50s yet, so hopefully, though, I won't have them problems. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Like an oil rig out here.
It's an oil rig.
Till they cut my lights off. You know what I'm saying? But,
absolutely.
Listen. Secondly, I want to say, Je m'appelle Hungry HD. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, listen, the French kissing is a beautiful thing, number
amazing.
one. I do want to say, number two, that I was talking about what y'all was saying as far as talking about, you know, sex and being flirty and playful. But what I do want to point out, just for the sake of everybody watching, to make sure they don't go over their head, especially for the fellas, because we had a conversation on here about not rushing to the sex conversation on the first date. What you don't realize, fellas, I think a lot of times is dudes who do this especially, is in a way, kind of, sort of, almost every conversation indirectly is a sex conversation, because every conversation you have can either get you closer or bring you further away from getting granted access. So if you just have natural conversation and the chemistry is flowing, you know what I'm saying, and you sparking her interest, it's gonna do it for. She's gonna be turned on just by who you are. And so, like, to Trell's point, I forgot exactly what you said, but I think you're just talking about the sex part. But even when you're talking about things that are not sexual, like, people could just talk about things and do things and support you in a way, or just say certain shit, and it's like, damn, I'm saying, it's just sexy. Something about that, whatever that is, that speaks to you, is sexy about the, you know, that person or whatever they did, and those things contribute to the sexual energy. So, like, those are things that I feel like you definitely got to pay attention to and just lean on, instead of just worrying solely about the sex and focusing on the sex or the sex conversation, which that part is cool too, and that's fun too. Have that too, but still work your way there, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I have a question. Has the sex been better for you all with women that you have been into, that you like, or women that you just Shmiddadeen?
Shmiddadeen. It's the first time I ever heard Shmiddadeen from anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So
they're still in the lingo.
I like how the lingo is circulating.
I like
the lingo circulating. Yo, when you a subscriber, you know what time it is, and you know your people, you KYP, you keep it real. KYP, you know.
I like that. I like that. All right, I don't even got one for that right now, but I like it. Like, we're in the building. What was the question?
Yo, I can't.
If we like a woman, is the sex better when we're into the woman?
When you're into the woman, or just somebody that you're just taking down, like.
Oh yeah, the more you're into the woman, the more you're more prone to take an L on the first one.
Okay.
Because you can't be super excited. I mean,
that wagon could just be wagging.
Oh yeah, it could just be, because like it's so mental.
Yeah.
So the more you're into a woman, the more the blood flow is going to occur. The more blood flow, the more erect you're going to be. The more
excited.
The more excited you're going to be.
Wavicity.
And Wavicity.
The Wavicity.
And that's where the experience comes into play, and you gotta. You know what I'm saying? Like, you in there. So attraction plays a huge part, because, I mean, like you said, somebody, a woman can say something to you and you get aroused. I mean, that's stimulating you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the more you're into a woman.
I had an experience like that, because I felt like he was wanting me for a very long time, and then we ended up linking up, and it was just like the bunny rabbit. Like, I was like, whoa.
He was excited.
He was overly excited. And I'm like, and afterward, I was like, you did not do a good job, bro. Like, bro, that was not. Bro, that was not good, bro. And he was like, I know. Like, he knew, because he was like, yo, I was so excited.
Yeah. Did you give him grace, like we talked about earlier?
I did, because I was attracted to him. So the second time, he came through the second time.
There we go.
Ladies, he's lucky.
My whole life.
But that goes back to your point. Ladies, it's like, I gave him a second try.
Give that man a second chance if he's too excited.
Because the first time, I was like, I felt like, you know, the dogs, how the dog get behind it and it'd be like, like, it was like, I'm like,
what they do?
They do the.
Oh, it's better the second
and
time.
I was like, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah.
And that's what I said. I told him, I said, bro, you didn't do a good job. It's okay.
Then
he had a nerve to be like this. And I was like, oh no.
Listen, he was in his happy space, man. Like, I came, I saw, I conquered.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know
But I
about
gave
that
him
third
another
part.
chance and he pulled
Well,
through.
yeah, that way,
He
he
saw.
came and he saw.
He definitely saw it. He came. Pause.
He came too fast.
He saw it. He came.
Oh Lord, not again.
That was the end of the
Lord.
He
story.
ran around the block, not the marathon.
Oh, they go. Oh man, not
Come
again.
on, man. That's
Listen, I'll say this, right? So I definitely think overall, I think that's true for everybody. Like overall, the more you get to know somebody, the more chemistry you build, get to know each other's bodies, sex is better, right? So that kind of trumps everything. But there are people, right, that you two run into something where like just off top, like the chemistry is crazy, and they just know what they doing, and it's just kind of explosive. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dr. Dre and Snoop. You know what I'm
Shout out to
saying?
Dr. Dre.
Explosive off the top. You know what I mean? Like, and that kind of gets you wondering too. Like, man, if it was this crazy the first time or the second time, this could go crazy from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the wheels turning. So
factoids.
that
there are some people out there that exist that you just have that kind of energy with.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Amen.
Okay, thank you.
Word. Nah, good question. Hey man, you know,
Yo,
it be that segment,
15
bro.
got a lot of sex talk.
Is that
Yeah.
it do.
You might need to rewind this episode, listen
Hey,
to a
man,
few things
come
over
on,
again.
man.
There's a couple gems.
That's a fact.
You knew
dropped.
if I was gonna be on here.
So
we
we
gonna
did
talk about
it.
that.
We you know how we end out the show every time.
Absolutely. So, time for us to get into our favorite segment.
we
Everybody's
go.
favorite segment. It's called Speak Your Peace.
Speak your peace.
All right. Hashtag Speak Your Peace on the gram and on YouTube. If you didn't
Come on
notice, that's the hashtag. Use it. All right.
Hashtag Speak Your Peace.
If you have a question, a personal, specific situation going on in your life, it could be wealth related, it could be relationship related, family related, whatever under the sun that you want some experience and some advice from, please DM us on Instagram at Peace King Pod. And if you want an example of what we're talking about, we have 14 previous episodes. Then you can go watch the Speak Your Peace segment. And also, I don't know if people realize, but we have segmented all of our YouTube videos and episodes to where you can click on a table of contents and watch each segment separately. So maybe you don't have, like Stiz said, you don't have the whole hour or hour and change to watch the episode. You could just watch one, topic at a time. That's cool. We labeled it so you could click on whatever topic you want. You know what I'm saying?
Shout
So
out
click
to
on the
the
Speak Your
Hungry
Peace and look at the examples that we got.
Come on now.
I love that, by the way, because I'm looking
Yes.
for my top 10 and I'll be like, oh, I know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah.
So this one, we had a good streak going for a minute. Shout out to the streak. The streak
the
is
streak
over.
was
We
lit.
got to get the streak lit, lit back
the
up.
call-ins, the
Yeah, the
call-ins.
call-ins.
I was excited about calling.
Yeah, we ain't got no
We
call-ins.
still in the
got the
game. We
callers,
still in the game. We still in the
I'm
game.
still in the game. So there was a woman dating a dude for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, he pretty much, things just kind of started changing, right? Like, he hung up on her, right? Like, it was having a conversation.
Whose man's is this?
So, hello, ding ding ding. Trell.
Having a conversation, she said, it was kind of quiet, right? Like there wasn't a lot of talking, so she was like, since you're not really saying much, I'm gonna go, and he just hung up on her like immediately, right? So there's another situation where she says that he asked about who she was going out with because she was getting ready while she was on the phone with him, and once she kind of, I guess, took exception to that, he snapped at her and kind of spazzed on her. And from there, she's kind of like, separated and fell back from the situation. And I, think that he's trying to make amends and keep the relationship, well, I guess the dating experience, not a relationship, alive. And, her question more or less is wondering if she's in the right to feel, how she feels.
That's hella red flizzies
100%.
in the beginnings. Completely.
Talk to him now.
That part. Like
what?
It's 2 weeks. Like, how
You hanging up on me, bro?
2 weeks in, and see, this is the thing,
Who
right?
does that?
I think the greater conversation is about the anxious attachment styles, right? And how sometimes women tend to go back to what they're used to because they like the attention.
Yes.
And even if the attention is toxic, it's not healthy.
Yes.
We yearn for that because we know somebody's there.
Yes.
And we don't realize that at the end of the day, no matter what you think, who this person is, there's a squared version of that person that's going to do the right thing. Shout out to Spike Lee. So you just got to do better.
Version.
The
Right.
L7.
The L7 version. It's like 2 weeks in, if you're asking me who I'm going out with and you're being buck wild in that aspect, that's controlling to me.
Fact.
And my toxic past would tie me to wanting to engage in that if there's no one else that's engaging with me that's treating me better or giving me a healthier dynamic to deal with. Right. And so I think this young lady, and I could be wrong, but maybe entertaining that because she's still living in a toxic cycle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of
She
what
100%
she's
is.
used to and the dynamics that she's used to in dealing with men. And we as women need to do better, not weaponizing the box, like we talked about earlier, not feeling like the worth is all so mighty that we can't just be human and have, human connection with somebody, but know your non-negotiables and know what works for you and what doesn't and what you're okay walking away from. Like walk away from things that don't work for you. Right. But somebody who hangs up the phone on me, it's over.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if you're not that emotionally tapped into yourself that you feel like you got to hang up the phone, like we don't even need to talk.
Yep.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. You barely know my middle name.
That's right.
You barely know how many siblings I have or where I was born. Shout out to Alicia Keys. Facts. And it feels like ooh.
Let's talk about it.
I look a lot different outside my work clothes.
Yes. and I put a little extra,
Okay.
But that's what it makes me think about. Like, you don't even know enough about me to feel like you got the audacity to hang up. My mama won't hang up on me. On my mama.
Oh, my mama. I look fly. I look good. Hey.
Check my swag. I wish you would hang up this phone on me, motherfucker. Like, it's over. Excuse me. I was swearing on the whole episode.
Yo, for real.
But
We dropped a lot of
Shout out to
My
Boston.
bad. My bad. But
yeah, lots.
my Roxbury side came out on this
Facts.
episode.
02119 up in here.
My little hood-ish.
Speaking of which, I don't mean to get y'all like lost. I remember your points, but I ain't
Nah, I got
hear
you.
a Ka, a Ba. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hear none of that. None of those.
That's South Boston. That's not
A
Roxbury,
Ka,
Boston,
Ba.
in my opinion.
No.
That's Southie. That's
I've never
the
really-
movie Boston.
I have another.
Have you been
I'm
to
gonna take you
Boston?
off topic.
We gon-
Yeah, I only been to Boston one time. I feel
one
like
time.
that's
We can end on that.
Yeah.
what you call it. That's more the difference between, I guess, like our culture and other, other people. So I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
The accents always be different.
Yeah, but 2 weeks
accents are
in,
always
2 weeks
different.
is way too early to have all of these emotional wrecks happening. That's a
100%.
Yeah, no,
that's a
crazy.
whole lot of wrecks on the highway. Like
it is.
Nah, detour,
Yep.
and find somebody else. Like take a new route, get a new man,
Yes.
do something else, go date somebody. Like find somebody else who's gonna give you the attention.
It's very premature. 100%.
yeah. 2 weeks is too short. That's crazy.
I concur wholeheartedly.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support.
I think we're all on the same page with
That's
it.
an
Sis,
affirmative.
it's a wrap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sis, no.
Yeah.
He's bugging.
He's bugging.
I was going to say, like, that's a you
Yo,
bugging type of
you
nominee
bugging.
right there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's the you bugging honorable mention
Yes.
for the night.
There you go.
He was wilding.
Yeah, you got some healing to do.
You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Calm
Keep
down.
dating.
Let's slow down, people. Brand Nubian and Grand Poobah told us a while ago, slow down. Speaking of which, I haven't heard.
And I was about to say Bobby V, too.
Oh yeah, he did. He definitely did.
No.
Speaking of which, shout out to the use of the slang term "buck wild." I ain't hear that in like 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? You resurrected that tonight on the pod. You know what I mean? That was a good one. That was a classic.
Shout
I
out
like
to
that.
the Buck
Yo,
Wild Mention.
I like that. Shout out to the buck wild.
This is the first 2 guests live.
That's
bro.
a fact.
Episode 15.
15.
If y'all don't
Episode
think that we're constantly
15.
moving onward and upward, okay? This is what we're gonna do on the Peace King podcast. Like, yo, we appreciate y'all ladies sliding through, blessing us with your stories,
gotta do mine.
your talents.
Yes.
We done got a little deeper, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? No pun.
We got real
but
deep.
like, yeah.
You got booty deep for
We
still.
Stizzle
I
got
don't
booty.
listen. Yeah, I didn't think we was doing this again. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't. Yeah, I thought we was past that part of the program.
Why
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't.
Why did you bring it up, man?
My bad.
Booty deep.
My bad.
It's the worst. You know, like,
Yo, I appreciate y'all for having
for
us
sure.
on here. Seriously,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
no doubt.
I do.
Listen, it was worth the pull up from.
it was worth the
Almost-
hour and
almost
15
3,000.
minute flight
I was almost 3,000 miles.
Come
and
on
I'm
now.
going nowhere. That's another Alicia Keys.
Yes.
But anyway,
Okay.
so
I know that.
you
Shout out
know,
to Alicia.
all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast, it was more than worth coming over.
100%.
At the end of the day, Trell, Hungry, y'all know how I feel about y'all.
Come on
Y'all
now.
know how I
She's
feel
a
about this
super
podcast.
We appreciate
supporter.
Super supporter, but super fam. Like I believe in people who have a purpose and have a passion and really live through that. Like
Indeed,
it will
indeed.
never die within me.
Yes.
I really.
And she always pulls me into the good energy.
I
on now.
love
My best
feeling
friend
like-
always
yeah,
pulls me
yeah,
in. So I'm here because of her.
Right.
But also
on now.
because of y'all.
Yeah,
Nah, we
for sure.
appreciate the love.
Yeah,
and the
for sure.
pull
I
up.
showed her when I went home to Boston for her funeral, for her mom's funeral. God rest her soul. God rest Anita. But when I went home to Boston, it was like, yo, me. All right, we knew we needed some cool time just to like laugh and kiki. Put on a podcast.
She
We
was
put
like,
on
you
Peace
gotta
King
watch
podcast.
this. I was
Like,
like,
you gotta
who's
watch
he?
the episode. She's
I mean,
like,
I knew a little bit about you. But I was like, all right, let me see who's these guys.
Yeah.
Okay, they it's good.
And it's
That's
like
good.
this is what the world needs. So shout out to y'all for being consistent.
Hungry HD.
It's Trell Maurice.
And that's the audio, ladies and gentlemen.
She said, "Who are these guys?"
But real talk, I hope
Yes.
y'all enjoyed episode 15.
Episode
Learned
15
something tonight.
is in the books. Ladies, shout out.
Yeah, shout out to my peeps. I love y'all.
Like, you know what it is, man. Hey, I appreciate the pull up, definitely. But if I gotta choose a coast, I got to choose the East.
Okay,
I'm
period.
out there, so don't go
I lived
there.
on the West.
Hey, we in the
Alright,
game.
I'm the only West
However-
Coaster right now.
Hey, we in the game, coach. I had to. Okay, you know how we do with the songs.
Listen, all day.
Peace King podcast. You know what it is. Hey, man, like, yo, we got the Mix and Mingle. We going to do the Vibe Tribe. We got
Yes,
other
it's
events
a
coming
vibe
up in the near
tomorrow.
future. You already know what it is. Stay, man, talk to them about Stay Hungry.
Don't forget to
Sweet
use your-
Renaissance,
yeah.
Listen,
like, what's
man,
going
discount
on?
stayhungrycloth.com. If you want some dessert in your life, sweetrenaissance.com. That's the other brand. Don't forget to visit.
Not to be confused with Beyonce.
Scrumptious.
It's better than that.
Scrumptious.
It's better.
She tried to get us canceled before we started. Don't say nothing about the Beehive, okay? Beehive was she didn't.
We
eat that.
support you, Beehive.
That's
We
a guess.
definitely do. Did you
That's a
see the
guess.
outfit?
I went to the concert.
I
I went to the concert. I spent my
catch,
coins.
Good catch. Yo, shout out to the Beehive.
Yeah, we love you, Beyonce.
I spent
okay?
my
We love the
coins, so I
Beehive.
went.
Of course.
I was there for Renaissance.
Of course,
Right.
but
Sorry,
it's
HD.
the sweeter version.
We're
Nah,
taking
you
away
good.
from HD.
No, you good. Listen, tmthebrand.com. And
what it is.
like they said, man, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So Mr. Vibe Tribe Weekend. I unfortunately could not make it myself.
Me too,
but
you
the
guys.
next one is already in the works, and I would advise you
We in there.
to show up and
We
be
in
there.
there.
Nah, it's going
in there.
down
We
in a
in there.
major way. You understand what I'm saying? But hey, man, episode 15 in the books. I done ran out of my drink, but hey, we appreciate
Facts,
y'all
me too.
again. And like, yo, if y'all have any time, y'all always welcome to.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace, King, man.
Peace, King.
You are now tuned in to the Peace King podcast.
Are you ready to unlock the secrets to a happy and fulfilling life? Looking for a safe space to discuss health, wealth, and relationships? Well, look no further because Live with Trell is here. Join the charismatic host, Trell, as he dives deep into topics that matter most, creating an atmosphere of love, understanding, and positive vibes only. Live with Trell is your go-to destination every Tuesday and Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming exclusively on Instagram Live at Trell_Maurice.